By the Oilers as they banish the Best by 2. Saturday night special in San Jose, they rip the Sharks by 2. Sunday, stroll at the Pond, downing the Ducks by 2. Wednesday in Vancouver, 1:02 to go, it ended 2-2. Too good to be 2 after a 5th undefeated tonight.
What you want to know? Let's go see it, we got the Oilers Edmonton. See it,
For the last time at the Winnipeg Arena, we bid you hello on CFRN as the Edmonton Oilers play the Winnipeg Jets. It's the last time because the Jets are off to Phoenix. That will be made official apparently on January the 17th. And there's a news conference in Phoenix, complete with a tape of all the players saying, "Hi, we're coming," on Tuesday. Hello, everybody. I'm Lance Brown, and welcome to the game tonight from the arena in Winnipeg. The Edmonton Oilers come in unbeaten in 4 games. The last time they were here at the Peg, they lost to the Jets by a score of 4-0. The two teams have gone different ways since. The Oilers have played better. The Jets of late have not played great. They have lost 4 straight games. So, standings-wise, if the Edmonton Oilers can pick up a tie or a win tonight, they'll move into playoff position for what that's worth. I know it's very early still, but a tie would give them a tie with Anaheim. A win would give them 8th place, sole possession of, and that would be good enough for playoffs if they were to start tomorrow. Also, if they win, that would give them 3rd place in their division, which is not bad considering the way that things have started. If the Oilers are to continue to play well, they're going to have to do it, especially on the power play. It's picked up of late, and this is David Oliver, who has picked up his play of late, 10 of his 11 goals this year on the power play.
I think it's pretty much because they focus on Dougie Waite and taking the shot away from Jason Arnott. It gives me a little more room to skate around and look for open ice. And, with guys that can pass like Seager, Waite, and Arnott, it's all I have to do is get open, and they're going to get me the puck.
The Winnipeg Jets are running low on fuel, and they're running low on fans. They expect somewhere around, well, earlier today they said about 6,100, but it looks like they may have 8, maybe 9, maybe if they're lucky 10,000 for the game tonight, so that's not bad fans-wise, and they've got just enough fuel to get them to Phoenix. They have enough offensive fuel, and their goaltending's not bad, but when they get south, fans will notice that their defense isn't that great unless they do things to change it before the end of the season. Nowhere was that typified better than against Montreal here on Tuck's Night Tuesday. The Canadiens scored 5 goals in 1 period and went on to win by a goal.
Well, right now we're struggling a little bit defensively as a team. There's a lot of outnumbered situations, outnumbered rushes, and right now we're not clearing away the second and third chance, and Chevy's making good stops. We're just not there to clear the rebound away, or the 3rd or 4th guy joining the play scoring the goals, and right now we have to shore that up if we're going to turn this ball around.
Big Dave Manson is soft-spoken, not only because he's soft-spoken, but also because 4 years ago, he was hit by a puck in the throat. You may have seen the scar in that video we showed you just moments ago. Statistically speaking, we love to throw all kinds of them at you. Try this one on for size. It's my favorite for tonight. On CFRN this year, the Edmonton Oilers have not won when this man has been part of our broadcast team. There he is. Mean-looking son of a gun. Here's a clue. He was a goaltender. Any ideas? Dennis Bayak and...
Well, John Garrett, for a guy that has more face and less hair to watch every day, I'm not going to make a comment about the locks, but that was quite a do.
Well, I was in. That was in style. And I'm not supposed to score goals for this team. We've done some tough games on CFRN.
Well, ever since our last one, that was in Vancouver. The Oilers have turned it around. 3 wins and a tie in those 4 games. What's the difference?
Well, they're really playing team defense, and I think that is the big turnaround. A week ago, it was all individuals. Everybody was running around trying to do somebody else's job. Well, Ron Lowe has gotten them together, and now they're playing team defense. And it's reflected in the play of not just the defense, not just the forwards, Bill Ranford, and the entire team.
Bit of a sore ankle tonight for Ranford. Joaquin Gage will get the start, but Ranford really has been sharp.
And it was the big saves that he wasn't making last week. And the team gets so used to Bill Ranford making the odd breakaway save, making the odd save on 2-on-1s. And now they're doing that. Bill Ranford's doing it. Joaquin will take advantage of his start tonight. I'm sure he will.
First period is coming up. It's the 3rd meeting of the season between the Oilers and the Jets. The Oilers winning in Edmonton, the Jets winning here in Winnipeg. Period 1 coming up live on CFRN.
Molson Oilers Hockey on CFRN TV is brought to you by Molson Canadian.
by the radio station that brought rock back to Edmonton. Classic Rock 100.3. The Bear.
The land, mark of characteristically clean, cold, and crisply defined by a consistently held and fluid belief in everything you're made of. Why? Because I am.
Oh, well, I'm the kind of light for your holiday list. I'll help you in so many ways. I'd make the perfect gift, 'cause I'm the street light from Black & Decker. I get around, around, around. I'm the street light.
The newest Black & Decker Dustbuster. With twice the power as before, it'll pick up more than you think. The Dustbuster. More power, more pickups.
You never do this. But when you take a prescription medicine without understanding what you're taking, how to take it correctly, and possible side effects, then the medicine designed to help you could actually harm you. So talk to your doctor and pharmacist, and don't be afraid to ask questions. It's the only way to be sure you're taking your medicine with your eyes open.
Excuse me, Santa? Would you mind moving a little more into the light?
Well, actually, I'm kind of busy, but let's see. Here, this'll help.
Now there's a film designed to enhance your camera's performance in virtually any light. Fujifilm Super G+, the most advanced film for today's automatic cameras.
Welcome back to the Winnipeg Arena. Dennis Bayak and John Garrett to bring you the third meeting of the season between these two clubs. Each team has won once. Joaquin Gage will start for the Oilers, 3.24 goals against average. Still looking for his first win of the season. The veteran Tim Shovelday will go for the Winnipeg Jets, 4.16 goals against average and a .869 save percentage. The referee is Lance Roberts. The linesmen are Ron Asseltine and Jean Moran. This one is underway. The puck right in front. Score! Turcotte! 11 seconds into the game, Turcotte gets his 7th of the year, 1-0 Jets.
And that's Darren Turcotte's first point in about a month. Good forecheck by the Jets. And the turnover, and this is a lazy turnover. 3 Oilers go into the corner, and there's Turcotte all alone. And he makes no mistake.
1-0 Winnipeg Jets very early in this game. King chases the puck for the Jets. In on him is Doug Waite. Waite comes up with the puck. King gets it back, and now Waite gets it back to Arnott. At the line to Mironov. Through some traffic. Bouncing puck in front. Shovelday makes the stop. Rebound lifted into the stands. And a stoppage of play.
A very big shift here for the Edmonton Oilers to calm things down. They've been scored on. They've got their backup goalie in. They have to create some offense, keep the puck down at the other end. Darren Turcotte, that's his first goal. Yeah, let me think of how long ago. It's been a long time for Darren Turcotte. It's over a month for Darren Turcotte. His last goal came in October.
And maybe none easier than that.
It was October 25th the last time that Darren Turcotte scored, and they thought that he would be able to chip in with 20 or 25 goals, but it's been a long time.
Shot by Slager, hits a skate, goes to the far side board. Jets bring it back. The pass is picked off by Todd Marchant. He'll send it back in. Shovelday swings it around the board. Shannon for the Jets, up the middle onto the stick of Olczyk. Olczyk to Tkachuk, penalty coming up to Erie Slager. Slager beaten down the left side boards. Had no alternative. It was either take the feet out from under Tkachuk or give Tkachuk a breakaway.
Keith Tkachuk went down very easily, and I think that's what Yuri Slager was complaining about. He was trapped, but Luke Richardson had an angle, and Slager got the stick on Tkachuk, took the penalty.
Slager in the penalty box for tripping. John, what does this do to Joaquin Gage? this early goal?
Well, this is a key power play. He's going to get some shots on this power play, and he has to make the saves, get his confidence back. He hasn't had a chance to get involved yet. He has to make some saves during this power play and get back into the game.
Face-off just inside the Oiler blue line. We have played 51 seconds. We've had our first goal, that by Turcotte. We've had our first penalty, that to Yuri Slager. Marchand chasing a loose puck. He gets squeezed out at the blue line by Manson and Shamnoff. And the puck goes to Tkachuk for Manson. Manson battles forward with Buchberger. Manson trying to elude the captain of the Oilers. And he'll start the power play straight up the middle for Olczyk. Olczyk drops to Tkachuk. Tkachuk to the line, no further. And Marchment will slap the puck back down the ice. Shamnoff will go back. And he's chased behind the net by Manderville. 1:23 left in the Winnipeg power play. Shamnoff off a shaft of the stick of Manderville into the Oilers zone. Gage plays it around the boards. A bouncing puck kept in by Shamnoff for Manson. Manson's shot, that stopped by Manderville. And Scott Thornton will get the puck and backhanded down the ice. Cheveldae for Manson. 1 minute now in the power play. For Olczyk. For Shamnoff. He overskated it at center ice. Stops, rattles it around the boards. For Olczyk. Olczyk in front. Gage steers that to the corner. Scott Thornton along the boards. Loses to Solani. To Shamnoff. To Manson. Keys it up. Just shot deflected. Goes high and wide. Off the boards for Mironov. Mironov and Tkachuk battle. Tkachuk to Shamnoff. Shamnoff to Manson. Wide of the shot. Olczyk for Shamnoff. Shamnoff to Manson. In front to Shamnoff. He was stopped by Mironov. And Brian Marchment will send the Jets back with just 16 seconds in the power play. Tkachuk right back for Winnipeg. Tkachuk around Mironov. And almost had it clear to the net. A scramble. Pile up in the Oiler net. Joaquin Gage has the puck under his pads in the crease. And he will hang on to it for the faceoff. First period brought to you by Denny Andrews Ford. Denny don't match him, he beats him.
A chance for Joaquin Gage to get involved. Dallas Drake, who set up the Turcotte goal by charging in and forechecking, charges the net again. Keith Tkachuk with a nice move. Dallas Drake going to the net and takes a piece of Joaquin Gage. But Gage, good concentration to pick up the puck. Dallas Drake goes in. Tries to carry the puck in with him. But Gage had good concentration, picked it up before Drake got there.
Joaquin Gage awaits a slow line change by the Winnipeg Jets. Now Turcotte does come out to take the faceoff. Turcotte wins it back to the line. Wilkinson lets the shot go. It does not get through. And the Oilers will bring it back. Bonsignor puts it off the boards. Tyler Wright hustles after it. Tim Cheveldae scoops it around the boards. Oilers back at full strength. Bonsignor gets the puck in front of the Winnipeg net, but King is there. The Jet captain sends it right side for Draper. Draper for Turcotte off his stick into the Oilers zone. Gage leaves for Mironov. Mironov comes right side. Unable to get a stick on it was Tyler Wright. Takes a check from Drake. Kravchuk. For Shatan, he deflects the puck back to the Winnipeg zone. Cheveldae leaves for Finley. Finley slowly out of his own zone, spots a man open. That was Eastwood. It goes off Eastwood's stick. Eastwood gets it back from Kravchuk. Had a man all alone in front of the net. That was Stapleton. Stapleton could not get a stick on it. In tight quarters and behind the Oiler goal. Shatan hustles forward with Finley. Shatan for Kravchuk. Kravchuk puts on the brakes. Gets it to the Winnipeg line. No further. Bonsignor takes Finley out of the play. Kelly Buchberger slips it through. Gets it right back again. And now Jason Arnott will get it into the Winnipeg zone. Cheveldae for Malgunas. Malgunas tries to avoid a check from Doug Waite. Gets it up for Stapleton. Stapleton has no alternative but to send it back behind his own goal. And then finally the Jets get the puck to center ice. Slager for the Oilers. Goes cross ice to Richardson. Richardson, long shot off the stick of Finley to the corner. Slager at the line. Sends it back deep. And Malgunas is there. Malgunas had the puck go off his stick. Takes a check from Doug Waite. Arnott steps into his man. Bookberger for Arnott to Waite. In on the right side, Waite gets taken down on the play by Malgunas, and Kachuk has the puck. Cross ice to a streaking Shane Doan. Doan trying to muscle his way to the front of the net, gets ridden out hard by Brian Marchment. Ed Olczyk in for the loose puck. Olczyk gives way to Yuri Slager. Slager for Doug Waite. Waite in on Deron Quint. Slager in on the play as well. Slager tried to get it back in front for Waite and hit the skate. Waite has it in the high slot. Lets the shot go. Cheveldae takes it in the midsection, and with Ryan Smith on his doorstep, he will hang on. This is your Molson Canadian hockey telecast.
The land, mark of characteristically clean, cold, and crisply defined by a consistently held and fluid belief in everything you're made of. Why? Because I am.
Cardboard. Cardboard. Yeah, cardboard. What? Cardboard. That's what all them brand cereals taste like to me. You know, like the box. You ever tried Kellogg's Bran Flakes, Vinny? Nope. Ever try them? No. Come on, just try them. I won't like them. You are so annoying. Just try them. Fine. I won't like them.
Most people who try Kellogg's Bran Flakes are surprised.
Hey, they're good.
Just how good they taste.
You sure there's bread in here? That's why they call them Kellogg's Bran Flakes, Vinny. Could be a marketing gimmick. You're a marketing gimmick. Yeah? Yeah.
Kellogg's Bran Flakes. Try them. They're good.
Ron Lowe's team winning 3 in a row on the road, and that's the first time they've done it since their Stanley Cup year. Tampa Bay, Calgary, and New Jersey, their other road wins to go with their recent streak where they won Colorado, San Jose, and Anaheim back-to-back-to-back. And a sign that things are turning up for the Edmonton Oilers, playing well on the road, and they've calmed things down. They killed that penalty very well, didn't give up any good chances, now have things calmed down.
Manson gives way to Todd Marchant, to Ryan Smith, looks for Maltby, reverses on the boards for Marchant. Marchant tried to one-hand it in front, hit the back of the goal, and a bouncing puck for Shamrock. His pass scooped up by Ryan Smith. Smith has Marchant in front. It went off the side of the net. Deron Quint for the Jets up the left side, boards to Randy Gillen. Gillen for Shamrock. Shamrock in a sharp angle, shot deflected, score! Timo Solani on the deflection, his 14th of the year, 2-0 Winnipeg.
Randy Gillen makes a nice pass at center ice to Alexei Zhamnov, and it's a 2-on-2, and Brian Marchment gets too far away from Solani. Randy Gillen makes a nice play right here to Alexei Zhamnov. Now it's a 2-on-2. Zhamnov goes wide, still 2-on-2. Marchment's there, but he's not there. Teemu Solani just bangs it by. Marchment gives too much room to Teemu Solani. He's farther than a stick away, and then Solani just bangs it in.
2-0, Winnipeg Jets leading the Oilers. David Oliver gets knocked down at center ice by Drake, and Mironov will send the puck in. Cheveldae leaves for Wilkinson, back in the lineup tonight after a foot injury. Puck cleared into the center ice area. Thornton for Mironov. Mironov sends the puck back in. Wilkinson hustles after it. Wilkinson's pass hits the stick, ends up on Shannon's stick. Shannon gets it into the center ice area. Drake, lead pass for Turcotte. Turcotte going in on Kravchuk, and Mironov will flip the puck to center ice for Scott Thornton. Thornton has trouble handling the puck, settles it down, gets to the Winnipeg line, try to get it to Mironov. Penalty coming up in behind the play as King knocked Mironov down, and now Thornton goes in and gives King a bit of a bump, but I think King is going to be the only penalty, and the Oilers are going to go on the power play.
Chris King is complaining. He was hoping to draw a penalty on Scott Thornton. Thornton just barely brushed into him, and King went down. It was a good job of acting by Chris King, but he's going to get the only penalty from Lance Roberts.
He may be lucky he never got 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Diving, is that what you're implying?
That's what I was referring to. The 9.5. Even the Russian judge couldn't disagree with that one.
Terry Simpson looks on, and his team in control of this game, taking an unnecessary penalty. This is offside. The whistle's already gone, and then King comes in and hits Mironov from behind.
Oilers on a power play, trailing 2-0 and needing a tally to get themselves back in this one early. Kravchuk fires it around. Cheveldae unable to trap it. David Manson unable to clear it, but then Finley will get the puck to center ice. Doug Weight unable to pick up the pass from Kravchuk. And the Winnipeg Jets send the puck down the ice. Finley sending it to Joaquin Gage. For Mironov. For David Oliver. Oliver checked by Jamnoff. Up on the play, Jason Arnott sends it in. Cheveldae with Arnott in on him very quickly. Back to the line to Mironov. Mironov the shot. Cheveldae saw it all the way. Steers it to the corner. David Oliver is there. Oliver to Doug Weight. Tied up by David Manson. Finley gives it back to Doug Weight though. Weight tries to get it back to the corner, but he gave it back to Finley. And Finley will send it down and head to the bench on a line change. Kravchuk picking his way to center, to the Jet line. Flips it through to Buchberger. Buchberger, sharp angle. Gets it through the legs of Cheveldae, but it goes by the far corner. Mironov unable to keep it in. Jets are getting a 2-on-1, and Drake cannot catch up to the puck. Around the boards, Shannon sends it back, and Kravchuk takes over. 38 seconds in the power play. Doug Weight to the Winnipeg line, no further. Ken Sutton cross ice to Buchberger. He can't penetrate the Winnipeg zone. Arnott will send it in, and Cheveldae will have plenty of time. He'll get it to Shannon. Shannon goes cross ice to Wilkinson. Wilkinson takes a quick look up at the clock, and with 12 seconds sends a high one-hopper in on Gage. The Gage had to take off the shoulder. Thornton for Buchberger. He overskates it, but Sutton has it. Into the Winnipeg zone. Thornton behind the goal for Manderville. Jets back at full strength, and King out of the penalty box has the puck. Behind his own goal. Around the boards for Stapleton. Stapleton still suffering or recovering from that broken jaw. It's back to the line to Sutton. Cheveldae kicks that one to the corner. For Scott Thornton. At the blue line for Sutton. For Manderville to Buchberger. Buchberger tried to get it back to Manderville. He was tied up, and the puck is cleared to center ice. Brian Marchment cross ice for Buchberger. Buchberger to the Winnipeg line and over. Buchberger lets the shot go. Manson gets his stick in front of it. And then Manson takes the puck behind his own net for Chris King. For Eastwood. Eastwood stopped by Todd Marchant. And then Eastwood recovers and deflects it to center ice. Down the ice it goes. Penalty coming up on the play. It is going to be a high sticking call. And we'll be right back with the Oiler power play.
This Christmas, give the gift of communication from A&B Sound with Motorola's free flip phone. That's right, free phone, free hookup, and free weekends and evenings for free from A&B Sound. And give the gift of memories from A&B Sound with Sony's 8mm camcorder with 12 times zoom and built-in 3-inch LCD screen and speaker. This Christmas, wrap up the gift of entertainment from A&B Sound.
Meet the 96 two-door Neon X. With 14-inch wheels, rear spoiler, AM/FM cassette, independent suspension, and a 132 horsepower multi-valve engine. Now it's personal. Only $13,595 at your Alberta Chrysler dealers.
On the last Oiler power play, Kelly Buchberger got right in. He went around Neil Wilkinson. Wilkinson thought he had him, goes right by him. Tim Cheveldae thought he had it, came out the other side. A break for the Jets and a bad break for Kelly Buchberger and the Edmonton Oilers. Manson high sticking on Kurt Maltby, and that was a good check by Maltby. Instigate, don't retaliate is the rule, and Maltby came across, and Manson had the stick right in Maltby's face. Oilers hot the last 4 games, and you see one of the reasons they're playing much better the last 4 games. Their special teams, the power play has been hot, their penalty killing's been good. All aspects of their game much better.
The Jets win the face-off and will chase the Oilers back to start this one from behind their own goal. Wait. Tried to go cross ice to a streaking Igor Kravchuk, but the pass was picked off. Now Kravchuk has it again. They'll drop it off the boards. Chris King can't get it outside the line. Arnott goes cross ice to Oliver to Kravchuk. Kravchuk for David Oliver. Wilkinson right in on him. Finds Mironov to Wait. Oilers on a power play. Wait to Mironov, the shot. Cheveldae to save the rebound. Cheveldae, the save on the backhand shot by Jason Arnott. Face-off will be in the Winnipeg zone.
Tim Cheveldae has had problems with rebounds since his second coming here with the injury to Nikolai Habibulin. And he has problems as the Oilers work it around. Mironov gets in the middle and lets the shot go. Cheveldae should catch this one. It's off his chest, it's high, but he doesn't. There's the rebound, but he makes a good save on the rebound. Arnott just banged it, and Cheveldae was right there to make the save. Home record, and that's with Nikolai Habibulin in net, and since he's been down with the injury, they're 1-3-1, and I think Teppo Numinen's injury also comes into play because Numinen is a big part of that Jets defense.
Wilkinson back in the lineup tonight. Right off the face-off, Doug Wait lets the shot go, and a big glove save by Cheveldae off of Doug Wait.
Tim Cheveldae lined up perfectly on that face-off to make the save. Wait jumped right by his man, took the shot. Tkachuk goes right by Doug Wait. Cheveldae with the hand behind him makes the save.
Kravchuk at the left point. His shot goes off Tkachuk's stick. Behind the goal for Arnott to Oliver. For Doug Wait. Cross ice to Kravchuk at the point. Under a minute now in the power play. And Tkachuk will bounce it over Kravchuk's stick. And the Oilers will have to go back and regroup. 9:24 in the period, 2-0. Winnipeg Jets have the lead. Ryan Smith stopped at the blue line by Shannon. Mironov takes over to Kravchuk. Cross ice to Doug Wait. And that is a late whistle, but it is offside against the Oilers. Face-off will be just outside the line.
Doug Wait, like many of the Edmonton Oilers, is battling a little bit of the flu, although they haven't called it the flu, and Wait has had it now for about a week and a half. He can't shake it. Ron Lowe's had it. Kevin Primo now he looks ghastly. I'm staying away from him, Dennis. I don't know about you.
I asked him before the game if he was feeling any better tonight, and he just shook his head slowly. You could tell this morning at the skate that Kevin Primo did not have the same bounce to his skating step that he normally does. Jamnov for Shannon to Wilkinson, and Wilkinson will slip it down the right side boards, and Ken Sutton will retreat for the Oilers. 20 seconds in the Oiler power play. Sutton to the red line, having trouble getting it into the Winnipeg zone. Cross ice pass, that was in behind Solani, and Maltby will get it into the Winnipeg end of the ice. Todd Marchand hustling after it. Marchand gets it to Ryan Smith. Smith takes a check from Wilkinson. Maltby is there though. Maltby gives it back to Wilkinson, and Wilkinson pulls it out of a pile and feeds Solani. Across the line, he'll drop it for Jamnov to Shannon. Shannon goes behind the Oiler goal. Shannon looks cross ice and finds Shane Doan. His shot does not get through. Jamnov along the boards against Brian Marchman. Loose puck is gobbled up by Doan. Doan into the corner to Solani. Into Jamnov. Joaquin Gage got the pads together and makes the save on the shot from Jamnov. Brian Marchman behind his own goal.
There's a big save for Joaquin Gage at a key time. You know, there's a couple of power plays, not many chances on Tim Cheveldae. The Jets come back, good chance, and Joaquin Gage came up with a good save.
Finley goes back to touch the puck. Icy called against the Oilers.
You probably don't believe in Santa Claus, but I do. I saw him. He has a rag jacket, and he's getting kind of, you know, people are always bringing their Christmas list. And his Omarta has lots of presents for everybody.
Surprise someone with a cordless screwdriver or snake light from Black & Decker. VersaPack battery and charger sold separately.
I'll be home for Christmas.
But my dad is better than sense because he's still around on Boxing Day.
You know you can quit smoking. Maybe all you need is a little help. Then why not ask your pharmacist for Nicorette nicotine chewing pieces? Or call for more information.
A friend told me Nicorette didn't work for him, but, I just don't think he was using it right, because it sure worked for me.
With proper use, Nicorette helps keep a steady level of nicotine in your bloodstream, helping take away the cravings for a cigarette.
At first, the taste surprised me, for a gum. But it worked so well for me, I just got used to it.
If you've got the will, Nicorette could be the way. Just call. Or better yet, ask your pharmacist for Nicorette.
Dennis, I know you were over at your sister's this afternoon. Is that what you were doing? Making up jet signs? Hogo, hogo?
No, I was stuffing my face is what I was doing.
These Jet fans have been great fans throughout the WHA and here in the NHL. It's just too bad that small markets have such a hard time making ends meet in the NHL.
Round the boards, Buchberger for the Oilers. Battles with Tkachuk. Tkachuk wins the fight, centers it, and it's grabbed off by Scott Thornton for Manderville. Manderville has a bit of a lane on Finley. Tried the wrist shot from the left side, but it's deflected by the Jets. Buchberger after it. Thornton, Manderville hustles after it as well. Manderville has the puck. He'll reverse to Thornton, but intercepting it was Olczyk. And Olczyk will get it to Malgunas, and he'll get it into the center ice area. Your time remaining clock brought to you by your Chevy dealers. And 7:06 remaining in opening period, and 2-0. The Winnipeg Jets have the lead. At the side of the Oiler net, Slager tries to one-hand it up the wall, intercepted by Tkachuk. At the line now for Buchberger, and Buchberger will backhand it past Wilkinson. Oilers start a line change, and the pass picked up by Olczyk. It'll be ruled a two-line pass originating from inside the Winnipeg line to across the center red line.
And Olczyk is complaining. He said he touched that one, and that would negate the two-line pass. He's talking with Ron Asseltine about it. And now the faceoff is going to come to center. Pass comes. Does Olczyk touch this puck on his side of the red line? Yes, he does. He tips it, and the linesmen agree that they made a mistake, and that's why the faceoff comes out to center ice. Olczyk, he's another guy, a streak scorer, playing with such confidence, back in the lineup, playing with quality players, and making the most of it. Free agent, no compensation at the end of this year.
In center ice, Bonsignor's pass to Shatan goes off Shatan's stick. It ends up back in the Oilers' zone. Mironov for Bonsignor. Bonsignor to Shatan. Shatan one-on-one on Wilkinson. Wilkinson rides him out. King back-checking has the puck. Around for Drake. Drake puts it on Shatan. Six, scores! Miroslav Shatan takes the gift and gets his third of the season, and it is 2-1 for the Jets.
Dallas Drake started the first goal by his forechecking. This time he's the GOAT defensively. What a bad play. Shatan tries Wilkinson one-on-one. Good play by Wilkinson. The puck comes around to Drake on the boards. Now you chip it off the boards and get it out. What's Drake do? Right into the slot to Miroslav Shatan. Left-hand shot, perfect feed. Look at this. Couldn't be any better.
Tape to tape.
And no chance for Tim Shovelday. He's back in the net. He's not ready. Doesn't have the angle down, and Shatan beats him to the glove side.
And we will have a special feature on Miroslav Shatan between the first and second period of tonight's contest. He'll be wanting us to run a feature on him every night. Around on the boards, Manson swings it away from Doug Waite. Behind the goal for Gillen. Gillen is bumped by Jason Arnott. Arnott has the puck. Gillen is after him. Oliver in to try and help out. Quint in there as well. Arnott has the puck. Arnott to Brian Marchment. The puck was rolling, and he drilled it high and wide. Solani couldn't catch up to it at center ice. Brian Marchment feeds Jason Arnott. Arnott with a bit of a gap goes in. A backhand shot. Arnott still being bothered by that sore thumb, and it was very evident there as he tried to get his way right in on goal, but could not control the loose puck. Brian Marchment back to the Oilers to Doug Waite. Waite drops it. Here comes Ryan Smith. Shoveled away out to cut down the angle. Makes the save off Ryan Smith. Jamnov relieves the pressure by sending it all the way down the ice. And as Maltby and Richardson go back, icing will be the call against the Winnipeg Jets.
We want to make it perfectly clear. You'll find guaranteed low prices at your Canadian Tire store every day. If you find a better price anywhere, we'll match it. Guaranteed.
And Miroslav Shatan has made a winner out of Dennis Grace. Dennis Grace of Edmonton entered a score and win at Safeway, along with a proof of purchase from Old Dutch Twin Pack Chips. Congratulations, you've won $300 in MasterCard Travelers checks from the Bank of Montreal.
That last chance by Ryan Smith, as we look at Miroslav Shatan, he tried the one-on-one. Neil Wilkinson stopped him, and then he got a perfect pass from Dallas Drake. Buried it by Tim Shovelday. That last chance by Ryan Smith, I'll get back to that. Another big fat rebound by Tim Shovelday, right in the middle. And if the Oilers go to the net, they're going to get lots of rebounds.
Oilers win the draw. Slager's shot rips wide of the net. Richardson pinches in. Puck cleared to the neutral zone. Maltby for Yuri Slager. Slager will send it in. Stapleton wearing that full face shield for that jaw problem. Can't get anywhere. Shovelday swings it around the boards. Oilers pinch in again, and the Jets send the puck to center, where Maltby will wait for his teammates to get onside and rattle it off the glass in the Jet zone. Stapleton for McKenzie. McKenzie clears it down the boards. Yuri Slager around to the wall, but Quint will keep it in. And now grabbing it is Ryan Smith, and Smith will take a check from Quint. A couple of underage players in the National Hockey League, both with junior eligibility remaining. Mironov has the puck for Kelly Bookberger. Off his stick to Mironov. Mironov for Scott Thornton. Kravchuk ran into the errant pass. Now Mironov's pass is picked off by Tkachuk. Tkachuk's pass is picked off by the Oilers, and Quint now has the loose puck, and he'll send it behind the Oiler net. Boris Mironov with under 4 minutes to go in the period. Finds Bookberger. Bookberger gives way to Olchuk. Olchuk trying to get a 3-on-2 going. Lost the puck. Kravchuk up for Manderville. Manderville to Bookberger. He would have been offside, so he circles back. Bookberger finds a lane down the right side. Chips it in. Manson with Manderville in on him. Manderville knocked the feet out from under Manson. Manderville tried to get the Bookberger pass in front. Couldn't deflect it. Scott Thornton is there. To the blue line to Kravchuk. Kravchuk lets it go. Shovelday out of his crease to cut down the angle, makes the save. Thornton gets taken down on the play by Manson, and Manson leads a 2-on-1 with Doan. Olchek up on the play as well. Doan to Manson. Big save by Joaquin Gage. And he will corral the loose puck and smother and hang on. You're watching the Oilers live on CFRN TV.
Winter's here, and it's time to ask yourself, does your battery have the juice to get you started when you really need it? Do your tires have the traction you need for slippery situations? Only Canadian Tire offers MotoMaster batteries and tires to get you going in any situation. All at the everyday low prices you'd expect from Canada's automotive store. Canadian Tire. There's a lot more for your car for a lot less.
Play Safeway Score and Win. When the Oilers score on CFRN, you could win an IBM Aptiva multimedia computer, a GE Spacemaker 2 microwave oven, Dirt Devils MVP and Dust Devil from Royal Appliance, or $300 in MasterCard Travelers checks from the Bank of Montreal. You could also win a trip or two to Mazatlan, Mexico, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. Safeway's participating products, Kraft Singles and Old Dutch Twin Pack potato chips. Score and win at Safeway, today's better way.
Shane Doan and Dave Manson, 2-on-1 late in the period, and Joaquin Gage with his best save of the night. Manson shoots right away. Gage pushes off hard, stacks the pads, makes the save, and then covers up the rebound.
Joaquin Gage getting the start tonight for the Oilers. Shannon at the line has it chipped by him. It's 2-on-1 the other way. Right, and Shatan right drills it. And Shovelday out to cut down the angle, takes it off the Jets' crest, and then pounces on the loose puck.
Nice play by Tyler Wright to create the 2-on-1. Neil Wilkinson gets trapped and comes back, and there's the shot. Tim Shovelday well out. Wilkinson came back and played the 2-on-1. It was Daryl Shannon at the blue line who gets trapped, and here's the shot from Wright. Look at where Shovelday is. Perfect positioning, nothing to shoot at, and Shovelday controls that rebound.
Bonsignor take the face-off with Turcotte. Turcotte wins it for Shannon, takes it behind his own goal. Right side for Drake, can't get it past Brian Marchment. Marchment sends it back behind the Jet net. Drake Behind his own goal, swings it around the wall, kept in by Ken Sutton. In front, backhand shot by Tyler Wright, did not get very much on it. And now Tyler Wright takes a left jab from Shannon. And I think we're going to have a penalty to the Winnipeg Jets.
I think Shannon is going to go by himself, and Tyler Wright did a good job goading Shannon into taking that punch, and I don't know whether Lance Roberts is going to get them both. Looks like they both might go now. Daryl Shannon for sure. And now Tyler Wright makes his way. Tyler Wright pushed at Shannon, and then Shannon gave him the left jab.
The fourth line for the Oilers has seen some ice time tonight. Bonsignor, Chatan, and Wright.
When you score a few goals, you get more ice time. Tyler Wright with a couple of good scoring chances, and now Terry Simpson's complaining about where the face-off is going to be. He's saying the Jet defenseman came in. He might have a case.
A lot of people in behind that Winnipeg goal, but he will not win his debate with the officials, although he is still on it. Jets 2, Oilers 1. And Lance Roberts says we are going to have it where I say we are going to have it. Let's get this game going. Face-off will be to the left of Cheveldae. Waite comes out along with Arnott. It is 4 skaters aside. Manson and Quint on defense. Solani and Jamnoff. The other forwards for the Jets, Richardson and Slager. Here comes Solani on the breakaway, going in on goal, hits the goal post. Solani has it again as he splits Slager and Richardson. Manson, sharp angle shot. He whistles that one over top the net and into the crowd here at the Winnipeg Arena.
In 1992-93, Teemu Solani had 76 goals. Since then, he's had 61. His luck just hasn't been as good. Here, breakaway, nice move, pulls it to the backhand, lets it go. He has Joaquin Gage beaten, but hits the side of the post, and out it comes. Heads-up play by Solani at full speed. Fake, go to the backhand, look at the room he's got. But he misses it, hits the side of the net.
Had Gage in the cage beaten, and he rattled it off the pipe. Face-off will be in the Oilers' zone. Jamnoff faces off for the Jets, along with Doug Waite, and Mironov has the puck. 2:08 to go in the opening period. 2-1, Jets with the lead. Waite drops for Arnott. Arnott back in front to Waite. That was just tipped away. He had nothing but room on that far side. Arnott has it again. Arnott leaves for Kravchuk. Kravchuk jammed out of the play by Manson. Teemu Solani looking for the loose puck. Finally does come up with it. Solani trying to get away from Arnott. Arnott takes him down, and Manson is there to cover up the loose puck. Manson has Jamnoff up the middle, but Jamnoff was across the red line, and offside is called. First intermission coming up. What do we have for us, Lance Brown?
Well, I've got chat with the sharpest shooter in the NHL by percentage. Ed Olczyk joins me. Dennis, you've got a feature look at the Oilers' goal scorer so far, Miro Chatan, and 7 games in the NHL. We'll roll through them all, boys.
Rangers on a roll, haven't lost in the month of December. They're trailing 4-1 in Buffalo.
Sabres off to a quick start over the Rangers. Mike Keane for the Colorado Avalanche. A couple of goals tonight since joining them from Montreal. Ken Sutton tried to get it to Bookberger in front, unable to. Here comes Olczyk. Olczyk with Tkachuk. Olczyk swings it to Tkachuk. Tkachuk looks like he was offside, but they rule it onside. It rolls to the crease area. Gage will take no chance. He'll smother it.
I agree with you, Dennis. That looked like it was about 2 feet offside. Ron Asseltine was right there and waved it up. Eddie Olczyk's been on a roll, especially on the power play. Always been a good goal scorer, but people have wondered about his work ethic and his attitude. But last year when Ed Olczyk, or the year before when he was with the Rangers and they won the Stanley Cup, he was voted as their 7th man. He hardly played, got his name on the cup, and did not play in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They voted him to get his name on the cup. That was the kind of guy he was, and his shot percentage way up there, 31.3%, and we've seen he doesn't waste any. He waits till he has a good chance, looks around for guys to feed it to, and Brett Hull, surprisingly, his shot percentage way up there. Usually his isn't that Hull. Oh, Jody Hull, what am I talking about? Brett Hull always leads the league in shots, and that's why his shot percentage is always way down.
You certainly would expect to see Brett Hull there instead of Jody Hull, but Jody Hull having a fine season for the Florida Panthers, as their entire squad is.
Well, Brett Hull is never up there in shot percentage because he fires from everywhere. He always is up around the 400 shot mark, 5 shots a game usually for Brett Hull, and he and Pavel Bure, when Bure is healthy, shoot the puck more than anybody else in the league.
Well, Eddie Olczyk will be chatting with Lance Brown at the end of this period. 1:24 to go in this opening period. The faceoff will be in the Oilers' zone. 2-1. The Jets have the lead. Oilers come up with it off the faceoff. They're still 4-on-4 for another 38 seconds. Ken Sutton down the left side. Sends it off the NHL sign in the corner. And Finley will take over for the Jets. Finley behind Shovelday. Spins. Tries to go out the other side. Feeds Olczyk. Olczyk gives way to David Oliver. Oliver tried to get around Finley, unable to. And Tkachuk is there. He'll feed left side for Malgunas. Stuart Malgunas will send it off the backside boards. Ken Sutton picks it up for the Oilers. Sutton straight up the ice. At his own blue line, now puts on the brakes, slows the play down. Sutton right side to Buchberger. Buchberger has Todd Marchant going to the front of the net. But some good work by Wilkinson to tie up Todd Marchant. Team's back at 5 aside. Here comes Dallas Drake. Down the left side, takes a bit of a chop from another 18. Maltby gets the puck around the boards, and Ryan Smith is there for Todd Marchant. Marchant with Maltby. Marchant drops to Maltby. Maltby dropped it to Ryan Marchment, but he couldn't pick it up. Here come the Jets. Drake going in. He has Turcotte going to the front of the net. Big save by Joaquin Gage. At the line, Deron Quint unable to keep the puck in. Yuri Slager just fires the long shot. Shovelday gets the blocker in front of it, and a wild flurry to finish off this first period, John.
Chances at both ends, and a lot of it is just mental mistakes. The Oilers gave up 2 breakaways, Solani and Jamnov in behind the defense, and then a turnover by Kirk Maltby at the blue line when he's giving a drop pass to a defenseman coming in. You never give a drop pass at that area anyway, but to a defenseman coming in, you know you're going to get trapped in a 2-on-1 because nobody's backing him up. Maltby makes the play at the blue line. The drop pass is to Brian Marchment. He's trapped. Now it's a 3-on-1. And again, Joaquin Gage makes the great save in close. Turcotte again has the chance, and Gage with the left pad gets it up and over the bar.
Shots are 13-10 after 1 period in favor of the Edmonton Oilers, but they trail on the scoreboard by a score of 2-1. Our first intermission from the Winnipeg Arena is coming up next on CFRN.
Promotional considerations paid for in part by Delco Batteries.
No matter what you drive, and no matter when you drive it, from extreme cold to extreme heat, count on Delco Batteries. Dependable power.
Most people brush about 300 strokes a minute. Electric toothbrushes around 6,000. But what if you could brush at sonic speed? That's 30,000 strokes a minute. Would that ever clean your teeth? And remove plaque? And reduce stains? But boy, would your arm get tired. Unless you have the new Synsonic only from Teledyne Waterpick. It uses digital technology to gently clean your teeth at sonic speed. Just ask your dentist.
This Christmas at Future Shop Discount Supercenters, you can save on audio, video, appliances, and computers. Save up to 70% on specially marked in-store clearance items. Plus, with purchase of selected computer packages, get $100 off any Hewlett-Packard printer. Plus, get 6 months no payments, no interest option on all computer packages. And there's no GST on selected audio and video. It's happening now at Future Shop. Don't miss it.
I thought I was running away. But I was just running. Through the night. Into the light. All I could see was you. No beginning. No end. Escape.
Calvin Klein.
Available at Eaton's.
Dashing through the store, Christmas on its way. Down the aisles we roar, shopping all the way. Oh, rods and reels, fishing creels, baits and hooks and lures. Fillet knives and fish finders, all perfect for outdoors. Oh, fishing hole, fishing hole.
Great Christmas gift ideas. Shimano Spyrex Series spinning reels. Save $15, now only $74.95. Or Shimano Scimitar High Performance Graphite rods. Save $10, now only $29.95 at the Fishing Hole.
Well, the good news is the last time the Edmonton Oilers played at Winnipeg, they lost 4-0, so at least they've got a goal, but they're down by 1 to the Winnipeg Jets after 20 minutes of play. This is the only guy in the National Hockey League who's ever bought me lunch. Invited me and bought me lunch. It was a long time ago. Ed Olczyk joins me now. You're having a great year, Eddie, and it's the perfect time to do it because they got 12 points in the last 7 games. And it's a perfect time because you're a free agent after this year with no compensation.
Well, I guess you could look at it that way, and glad to be playing again. It's been a long time since I've really felt that I've contributed something on the ice. Since I got traded back in December of '92, had a tough time in New York. Won a Stanley Cup out of it. Didn't contribute as much as I would like on the ice, but tried to have a role off the ice and learn a lot from guys like Mark Messier, people at Edmonton know, and Kevin Lowe and Buka Boom and Graves, and go on and on and on. And it was tough to not be playing at the start of the year, but I just waited for an opportunity, and I was waiting for a chance, and I'm kind of let my actions speak for themselves.
Were you given up for dead by some people? You're only 29, so you're still relatively young.
I guess I would have to say yes. I'm sure some people probably turn their cheek to myself and possibly my abilities, and people question my productivity over the last couple of years, why it's dropped, and it's dropped for one reason. That's been from a lack of opportunity, and I kind of compare my situation a little bit to Dougie Waits in New York, where he really wasn't going to play as much as maybe he should have, a good, young, talented guy, and the door was finally open for him when he got traded to Edmonton, and he's having a great year. And I'm not comparing myself to Dougie Waite, but the situations are really similar by getting that opportunity. And
yeah, you're comparing yourself to Dougie Waite.
Well, Dougie's a little younger, better looking, and he's making a lot more money. So
you're just as smooth as I remember you from before. What's this shooting percentage thing? You're first in the NHL. That's going great for you.
Yeah, the first period wasn't very good for myself, but we got the lead 2-1. We've played really well early in games, and we seem to kind of tail off. But I've been known as a shooter. I'm just trying to get everything at the net, and those statistics, nobody worries about them except for those stat freaks like yourself.
Yeah, well, it's nice to keep stats of somebody who's doing as well as you are at the right time in your career, so congratulations on that.
Thanks, Lance.
Have a good rest of the year and enjoy Phoenix. Just very quickly, are you going to go? Do you know?
I don't know. We'll wait to see what happens, but happy holidays to everybody, and yourself, Lance.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you and yours.
You too. Thanks.
All right, Ed Olczyk, our guest here in the first intermission. We've got a feature look at an Oilers rookie who scored the first goal for his team tonight. Dennis Bayak had a chat with Miro Shatan, a great young fella, and we'll have a look at him in just a few minutes.
Lots of branches, not too tall, like bushy, and had lots of ornaments. A big tree, taller than my dad. A tree with hundreds of branches. Like angels and stars and stuff makes me feel cozy.
To all of you, from all of us at Save On Foods, we wish you the very best this season. And to charity, $1 from every Christmas tree we sell. Merry Christmas.
You know, a decongestant tablet can take up to half an hour to start relieving your nasal congestion. A nasal spray like this, long-lasting Dristan nasal mist, goes right to the source of the problem, your nose. So it begins to work in seconds. And Dristan lasts up to 12 hours. Twice a day is all it takes. Fast and long-lasting. That's why I recommend it.
Can you take me for a minute?
Sure.
Thanks. You sure this is the one you want?
Yeah.
Hey, he's adorable. You like him more than all the others?
Yeah.
Will you take him?
And you're going to walk him?
I promise.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. We only take Visa.
Oh, but this is all I have.
I'm sorry.
There you are.
There he is.
We'll take him.
Used more often than any other card in the world. Visa.
Come on, Elmo.
Elmo?
It's the only card you need.
Honey, let's go. I don't want to be late for work again.
Just a minute.
Come on.
Just a minute.
Wear your glasses. They look fine.
Yeah, right.
Now is the time to experience a new freedom. Advanced laser eye surgery can now correct nearsightedness, farsightedness, and astigmatism. Discover why thousands of Canadians have trusted the Gimbal Eye Center. Trust the leader. Call the Gimbal Eye Center for an informative brochure.
Missing from that promo, supplied to us by the National Hockey League, some video of Miro Chitan and the rest of the Edmonton Oilers scoring. They're down by a score of 2-1 after one period. Miro Chitan is a very nice guy, a rookie who takes a lot of ribbing about his last name from his teammates.
In 1994-95, Chitan played on two teams, Detroit in the I and Cape Breton in the American League. Still a relative newcomer around these parts, but the Oilers expect a great deal from him. 24 goals in 25 games in the Cape last year earned him an NHL contract with the Oilers. Chitan's rise to hockey stardom began with 9 goals in 8 games in the '94 Olympics while he was playing for Slovakia.
I was 19 years old and I played with Peter Szczesny, who was 38 years old. I was the youngest guy and he was the oldest guy. He was captain of the team.
21 years old and just a child when the Stastnys defected. His dream was to follow.
The leaders, they made him like bad guys. They left country and they left families for money, and you know they were talking about them like it's not right what they did. But some of people they agree what they did because system wasn't good, and they left for their dreams, so that was right.
When Chitan was born, his town of Topolchany was part of Czechoslovakia. Now it's in the country of Slovakia. It's a factory town of 30,000 with only one rink. He hopes someday his 2 younger brothers may join him in the NHL. Chitan is a gifted scorer and in hockey terms has great hands, but he does not like talking about himself.
I don't know. You just gotta ask somebody else. I don't know. I'm not talking about myself.
One of the things about Miro is he's like the top 4 or 5 guys in talent in the hockey club. We haven't exactly been able to find a position for him for a couple of reasons. Second and third lines haven't had a center iceman that's likely suited for his game. Him and Peter White owned training camp, and Miro got hurt at the end of it and kind of lost that magic.
Like most Europeans, the hockey style they grew up with is very different than what is expected from them now. Here it's smaller ice surfaces and closer checking.
I had troubles last year when I came to Detroit. I was surprised what kind of hockey is this, but then I said to myself, this is hockey and this is the same game, and you gotta do what everybody else gotta do.
You know why I say he's a nice guy? Because he's the only Oilers player who willingly will sit with media on the team bus, and that counts big points. You can sure tell what kind of guy I am. I get Ed Olczyk to buy me lunch, and now I want to sit with players on the team bus. You can tell what kind of team the Edmonton Oilers are, too. Down by 1, but certainly capable of a comeback. Chitan will return to the ice, as will the Oilers, in just a few minutes.
There are those who say they will get around to it and those who actually do. If you'd rather put things up than put them off, try VersaPack, a new rechargeable battery system that powers a whole range of cordless tools. Black & Decker, it's how things get done.
Life is full of obstacles. We suggest you cut right through them. Introducing the VersaPack cordless multi-purpose saw from Black & Decker. It's how things get done.
I shall grant thee 3 wishes.
One's enormous wealth. I want to be adored by women.
You have one final wish. Use it wisely.
Long life.
Still going. Long-lasting Energizer batteries keep going, and the living
in space.
International Stereo's annual sale of the season is on now, and it's big. How big? Big. Each year, International Stereo saves you money on gifts for every budget, plus financing for up to 3 years. Save on everything from camcorders to portable CD players, from VCRs to home theater. We have the best selection of car audio and car starters. Christmas is arriving soon, so don't miss our sale of the season. On now at all 6 International Stereo locations.
International Stereo, just the world for you.
It's holiday time. That means party time. Jeffrey's is your festive party headquarters with plenty of party snacks for every taste. A selection of hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, seafood, pub wings, desserts too. They're ready in minutes, but they'll disappear in seconds. And with Jeffrey's gift certificates, everyone gets exactly what they wish for. Make your list and check it twice. And remember, there are 2 things you need for the holidays: Jeffrey's party snacks and mistletoe. Happy holidays.
Back in the peg, there's the score in our game. Let's peg in the scores around the National Hockey League. 6 other games in the NHL tonight. 1 yet to start on the coast. Ottawa at Anaheim. Senators on their way to Edmonton for a game Monday. Look at that in the last 17. They've won 1 and tied 1 in their last 17 games. The New Jersey Devils have lost 4 of their last 5. It could be 5 of their last 6 if this keeps up. That's in the third period, down by 1 at Detroit. The Avalanche have lost 4 of their last 7. It could be 5 of their last 8. Mike Keane with the 2 for Colorado. The Montreal Canadiens beat the Jets 6-5 Tuesday. They are down at Chicago. It's the same time zone, so it should end around the same time. 1-0 there in the first period. The Penguins lost their first in 10 Wednesday against Anaheim. Sandstrom with the goal for the Pens at Dallas. The New York Rangers unbeaten in December. Well, it looks like that will end. They will lose to the Buffalo Sabres in the third period. They're down by 3. And here it's the third of 4 meetings this season. The teams have split the first 2.
Every Christmas, I give my mom and dad something I make myself.
There's something special about homemade gifts.
You have to use enough glue.
At your neighborhood Home Hardware, we have over 6,000 homemade products.
I can put this picture frame in the living room.
Great gift ideas for everyone on your list.
I'll be home for Christmas.
You can't beat homemade quality.
I better keep working here.
GM cars and trucks have always been in my family. It's just been a tradition. GM products are the best products in the market.
I like to make sure that everything is working well with the car, that they're really happy with it, and that they're having a good time.
So it's like a family business. We all work together.
Nicholson's pays for employee upgrading courses to improve customer satisfaction. Hey, there it is.
There's a general excitement in the air for the customer.
Nice cars, nice people. You'll fit right in.
Back at the Winnipeg Arena, 2-1 at the end of 1 period of play. The Winnipeg Jets lead the Edmonton Oilers. Third meeting of the season between these 2 clubs. Turcotte got it going very, very early, his 7th of the season, 11 seconds in as he beat Joaquin Gage, and then Solani is 14th. And then Chatan got on the scoreboard for the Oilers, an unassisted marker, 13:43, 13:10. The Oilers outshot the Winnipeg Jets.
Unassisted, but a perfect pass from Dallas Drake. Chatan started the play by carrying the puck over the zone. Chris King throws it around. Dallas Drake is there, and instead of going up the boards, up the middle. And there's Miroslav Chatan to bang it by Tim Cheveldae.
Third of the season for Chatan gets the Oilers back in the game, and the second period is underway. Mironov, long shot. Cheveldae catches the puck and leaves it for David Manson. Manson for Deron Quint. Quint for Tkachuk. Tkachuk to Olczyk. Olczyk going in, backhand shot. Gage takes it off the left pad, juggled it temporarily, and then will hang on.
Good save by Joaquin Gage early in the second. The Jets scored at the 11-second mark in the first. Here's a chance at the 18-second mark. Good backhand by Olczyk. When you're hot, you shoot everything, and it's on the net. The goalie has to make the save. Joaquin Gage stood his ground. Good angles on that backhand to make the save.
Hot is not the weather, although it has warmed up here in Winnipeg a little bit from what it was earlier in the week. Manson at the point. Play whistle down. We have a penalty coming up. It is going to be hooking against the Winnipeg Jets. And the Oilers will go on the power play. Pretty much as much snow here in Winnipeg as we have in Edmonton. Everybody complaining here about having to shovel snow every day. And Tkachuk makes his way to the penalty box.
Hooking penalty right off the face-off. Doug Waite's trying to get out to the point, and that's obstruction interference. Keith Tkachuk takes the penalty, and the Oilers have a chance in their power play.
Face-off outside the blue line. Back in for Mironov. Mironov to Kravchuk. Kravchuk left side for Jason Arnott. Arnott tried to get it through to Oliver, delayed just a split second, and that would have put Oliver offside, and Manson sends the Oilers back. Joaquin Gage for Arnott to Waite. Picks his way to the Winnipeg line. Clearing pass by Malgunas does not get through initially. Second try it does. And the Oilers will go back and regroup. Kravchuk will lead the attack for Doug Waite. Doug Waite can't get anywhere. He'll leave it for Mironov. Mironov tries his luck. Slides it into the Winnipeg zone where Shovelday will backhand it up the wall to King. King gives way. In front, Oliver to Arnott. He could not negotiate contact with that pass. In the center ice area, Oilers try to bring it back. Waite's pass was too far for Oliver. Down the ice it goes. And Joaquin Gage will come out, and he'll have to play it away from Turcotte. It'll be kept in by Wilkinson, and Wilkinson just sends it in front of the Oiler goal where Kelly Buchberger has it. For Doug Waite. Waite around Randy Gillen, behind the net to Buchberger, but Shovelday one-hands it around the boards. Gobbled up by Wilkinson. Wilkinson will just take his time. He'll come cross ice to Drake. Drake overskates the puck, and here comes Buchberger to Arnott. Arnott across the line, around Wilkinson. Arnott right in front. They score! Kent Manderville somehow got that one past him. Shovelday, power play goal. Manderville's second goal of the year. We're tied at 2.
I'm surprised the Jets aren't complaining a little bit about this one. Manderville drives to the net, and Jason Arnott just banks it in off Manderville. Arnott goes wide on Wilkinson and just throws it at Manderville. It hits him and goes in.
I think it did go off his skates.
Here's the play. Arnott looks, and it's hard. He's throwing it hard. He's playing the bank shot. And Manderville drives to the net, gets a piece of it, and it's by Tim Shovelday.
And Manderville, his second of the year.
Now they are talking about it. And they are going to come upstairs.
Well, I think the lovely world of video, I am sure that someone made a view of that up in the press box here and made a quick call down to the Winnipeg Jet bench and said, let's get this one reviewed.
Well, if we can see it again, we'll see what they're complaining about. Manderville goes to the net. Jason Arnott has it wide and then just shoots it at Kent Manderville. And Manderville's got that right skate out and kicks it by Tim Shovelday.
Well, they have waved off the goal. And this game remains 2-1 in favor of the Winnipeg Jets.
Here comes Manderville. Does he get it with a stick or a skate? It's his right skate.
It looks like it goes stick to skate, and then as he is headed towards the net.
And Manderville is saying, well, it just hit me and went in. I didn't direct it. And that's the discretion of the video goal judge that it was directed into the net, and the goal does not count.
So 15 seconds remain in the minor penalty to Keith Tkachuk. Now the Winnipeg Jets remain in front 2-1.
Why does the faceoff come outside?
Because it was an offensive situation
foul
that created the whistle. It is Shovelday around on the boards. Yuri Slager tries to keep it in, can't get the puck deep. Richardson has to retreat to center, and here comes Drake. Drake gives way at the Oiler line to Slager. Slager to Manderville, to Richardson, to Scott Thornton, and he'll get it into the Winnipeg zone. The penalty has expired. Shovelday around to the board, kept in, shot by Slager. The puck was on end, it sails over top the goal. Scott Thornton puts it around the glass to the opposite corner. Manson just sends the puck to center off a stick into the Oilers' zone. And Richardson will go back for it. Richardson for Scott Thornton. Thornton tried to hit Vanderbilt over his stick, and Finley slaps it back. Richardson for Thornton, for Slager to Richardson. For Buchberger. Off the boards, too far for Vanderbilt. Jamnoff gives it to Luke Richardson. Richardson gives it to Buchberger. And Buchberger will flip it in. Shovelday will leave for Wilkinson. Wilkinson reverses for Shannon. Shannon up the board. Jamnoff didn't want the puck. Maltby hustles after it. Maltby backhands it in behind the Winnipeg goal. And the Jets will send it to center Wilkinson, but the Oilers bring it right back. Todd Marchand falls, trying to get it back to the blue line to Ryan Smith. It's picked off by Solani. To Tkachuk, to Jamnoff. Jamnoff against the boards. He'll go cross ice for Shannon. Shannon through traffic, saved by Gage. Scramble in front. Grabbed off by Kirk Maltby. Maltby at center. He'll send it in. Off the boards, Marchand hustles after it, has the puck. Slaps it around the boards. Maltby is in after it. Maltby for Ryan Smith, to Maltby to Todd Marchand. Can't trap it. Maltby and Manson rough each other up in the corner. Here comes Deron Quint. He falls at the line. Here comes Ken Sutton. Sutton lead pass on the right side to Tyler Wright. Shot saved by Shovelday. Unable to get a stick on the rebound was Todd Marchand. Eastwood lost his stick at center. Sutton tried to get it to Ryan Smith. And the loose puck is gobbled up by Bonsignor. Bonsignor drops to Brian Marchman. Marchman sends it in. Manson catches it. Puts on the brakes. Goes left side to McKenzie. McKenzie takes a check from Tyler Wright. Bonsignor has the puck for Shatan. Deron Quint there to take over for the Jets. Quint to Manson. He'll fire it in. Bonsignor off the boards. Chips it back to the Winnipeg zone. Finley will go back to touch it. And an icing call against the Edmonton Oilers. 2-1, the Jets lead. This is your Molson Canadian hockey telecast.
If it doesn't have spirit, it's not worth doing.
This holiday season, give him the Gillette Sensor XL with protective microfins. The best you can give, the best a man can get.
Today, treat your breath to a whole new cool. New Certs Cool Mint Drops. Cool new box, cool mint drops. With a breath-cooling Retsin center. Treat your breath to new Cool Mint Drops. New from Certs.
The Mobile Crew, outfitted by Elite Sportswear. Elite Sportswear, the look of champions.
Getting that time of year, Dennis, I know you got all your shopping done. I was out today doing a little bit of buying.
I got most of mine done. Lance was doing his today at the hotel. Those towels were so fluffy you could hardly get a suitcase closed. Face-off will be to the right of Gage. In the Oilers zone. Two to one. Winnipeg Jets with the lead. Wait for Kravchuk. Kravchuk for Arnott. Arnott can't get it out. King's shot. That hits Mironov in the leg, and Mironov starts up the ice. Mironov tried to get around Manson. That did not work. Puck back at the line. Arnott steals it. One hands it towards Shovelday. Cleared to the line. Doug Waite will keep it in. And now Drake is there. Drake banks it off the boards to Manson. Manson rips it back to Drake, but it goes off the glass at a funny angle. Arnott in the corner with Quint. Arnott for Oliver. Hops over his stick, and here comes Turcotte. Turcotte has Drake busting to the front of the net. Good job by Mironov to get back and tie Drake up. Penalty coming up to the Oilers as Chris King gets up very slowly And it'll be David Oliver getting an interference penalty as he took his man all the way back. But referee Lance Robert felt that was interference.
Well, the new obstruction rules, it was a 3-on-2 with Oliver trying to get back to make it a 3-on-3. Chris King is open, and Oliver gives him a shove from behind and takes the interference penalty.
Jets go on the power play here in the second period. 14:04 remaining in the middle frame as David Oliver heads to the penalty box. Face off to the left of Joaquin Gage, and King a little bit shaken up.
Head first into the boards, twisted his neck a little bit, getting it adjusted by trainer Phil Walker.
We are almost set to resume action. Now they find some debris on the ice. And we're set to go. Olczyk will face off against Todd Marchand. At the line for Manson. Into the corner. Olczyk and Richardson after it. Olczyk goes down. One hands the puck to Solani, to Tkachuk. At the line, bouncing puck gets away from Manson. Here comes Todd Marchand. And Manson, a good job to get a little bit of Todd Marchand's stick. Marchand overskated the puck.
Todd Marchand, too much speed and not enough control as he went by David Manson. He had time to lift Manson's stick. His speed against Manson, he's by him. And all he has to do is lift Manson's stick, but he tries to go over top. And when he tried to go over top, he lost control and put himself offside. That was a good call by Ron Asseltine, the linesman. Marchand was over the blue line before the puck got there.
Face-off outside the Jet line. Tkachuk backhands it. It hit Richardson. And Manson backpedals in his own zone for Tkachuk. Cross ice to Olczyk. Olczyk sends it in. Solani and Slager hustle after it. Bookberger is there. Bookberger to Todd Marchand. Marchand one-on-one on Manson. Marchand tried to get a step around Manson. Could not. Hustles into the corner. They pile into the boards. Some help now for the Jets. The reinforcements come in, and Olczyk has the puck. He'll leave for Zhamnov. Alexei Zhamnov to Tkachuk. Banks it off the boards. Zhamnov hustles after it. For Solani. Takes a check along the boards. Gets the puck free, though, for Manson. Manson for Olczyk. Olczyk center. Scramble. Gage. Big save. Zhamnov through traffic. It doesn't get through. Zhamnov again. Scramble. Gage is saved on the short side. They bang away at it. And Slager kicked it away. At the line to Zhamnov. To Solani. He drilled it over top the net. And into the stands. That face-off will come outside the zone. Whoa.
Frustration of Taylor Solani, not on that last shot that he just wired high off the glass and over the glass into the crowd, but on his chance at the side of the net. Here comes the puck. Solani has a whack at it. Gage makes the save, and then Solani goes around, and he gets another chance at the side. There he is. Backhand. Great save by Gage. And there's the play by Yuri Slager just to keep it out. And Olczyk there. Jets working around again to Solani. Big shot by Zhamnov. There's Solani off the back foot. And he pulled it high and over top of the glass.
Probably some people standing in front of the net that were very glad that one sailed over top. A foot lower, and there might have been some heads coming off.
Pass was a little bit behind him. Had that been in front of him, I think we would have seen the Jets cash in on this power play.
He was looking for the top half of the net. There was some traffic on the ice in front. Oilers win the face-off and send it down the ice. And Shovelday will leave for Turcotte with 25 seconds in the penalty. Turcotte with a head of steam up the ice to Drake. Around for Stapleton. Overskates the puck. Brian Marchment off the glass, kept in by Turcotte. For Drake to Quint. Quick shot, score! Just as the penalty was about to expire, 5 seconds left. The quick shot by Quint, and it is 3-1.
Joaquin Gage is complaining that there was somebody in the crease. And he wants him to go upstairs. The Oilers have had a goal disallowed. This shot hits Scott Thornton out high and then deflects by Gage. Thornton's out trying to block it. It hits him. Changes direction. Now, is Dallas Drake in the crease there? Dallas Drake makes the pass to start with.
Shane Doan is in front of the net.
That hits Thornton. Now, Shane Doan goes through. It looks like he's outside the front of the crease on that one.
Well, I don't think we're going to get video replay on that one anyway. Second goal of the season for Deron Quint. And the Winnipeg Jets lead it 3-1.
You can see that puck fluttering as it went by Joaquin Gage. It hit Scott Thornton.
They score! Off the glass! Gage was going behind the net to trap it. And the Jets have opened up a 4-1 lead. And Quint gets his second in just a few seconds. Second of the night.
These old buildings, when goalies play in here a lot, you realize you can't take the chance. You never commit. Well, Joaquin Gage hasn't played in here. He doesn't know the Winnipeg Arena. And this shot, it's a shoot-in. But it's up off those partitions and goes by Joaquin Gage.
4-1. The Winnipeg Jets all of a sudden have the lead, and what a turn we have had in this period, in this second period. A 3-goal lead for the Jets. We're in the second frame.
The land, mark of characteristically clean, cold, and crisply defined by a consistently held and fluid belief in everything you're made of. Why? Because I am.
So, you want to learn to drive a truck? Well, it's important you get quality instruction. Don't take chances with your future. Cameron Driver Education has been preparing new drivers for the open road well over 15 years. Their reputation for excellence has made them the #1 truck driving school. Tomorrow is around the corner, so plan to drive into the future with Cameron Driver Education.
Deron Quint's second one, another funny one, just a shoot-in. And it goes off one of the partitions almost at a right angle. Joaquin Gage gets committed. He gets his feet crossed over and he can't get back. But that's just knowledge. Bill Ranford would never get trapped because he's played so many games in here. And he knows these boards. So you can see the partitions in the glass all the way around. The new rinks don't have those. And in old buildings, the puck shot in high off the glass. You just can't take the chance. It's not worth it. Joaquin Gage out trying to stop the puck, help his defenseman out, gets burned.
4 seconds separated those two goals by Deron Quint. In the Jet zone, Manson clears it to the line, kept in by Mironov, scramble in front of the Winnipeg goal, batted into the center ice area, and here comes Shane Doan. Doan in on Mironov. Mironov rides him out. Tkachuk for Doan. Doan knocks his man down behind the net. Doan tried to center it. He couldn't against the checking of Kravchuk. Doan has it again, centers for Olczyk. Olczyk for Doan. Doan behind the net, tried to jam it out front. And Joaquin Gage will get the big glove on it, and he will hang on to it for the faceoff.
The young team, the Edmonton Oilers, have to calm down again. We talked about it in the first period, that 11-second goal, and then Solani's goal at the 5-minute mark. Two quick ones, and they calmed down. They got a goal back, got back into it. Well, now these two quick, funny goals, one bounced off Scott Thornton and went in, and the other one off the glass and into the net behind Joaquin Gage. You can see it's really unsettled them. They're sagging. Terry Simpson throws out his best line. They've had the pressure on again, and now the Oilers have to regain their poise and composure.
It was 2-1 Jets. Kent Vanderbilt thought he had tied the game. That goal was disallowed because he had kicked the puck into the net. And then 2 goals, 4 seconds apart by Deron Quint. And we have had a very major swing in this game. Here come the Jets again. Solani scores! Solani, his second of the night. It is 5-1 Winnipeg.
Like Solani's first goal, a perfect pass from Alexei Zhamnov. Tape to tape hard. There's the 2-on-1 created. Zhamnov comes in, and the perfect pass to Solani. No chance for Joaquin Gage. And unless you commit to cutting off this pass. Luke Richardson gets trapped, and there's the perfect pass. And as a goaltender, if you commit to the pass, the guy shoots it, it goes in, and you look like a fool. If you don't commit, then he makes that perfect pass, and it goes in anyway.
5-1, Winnipeg. The 2 goals by Quint ties an NHL record. Here comes Solani again. Against Brian Marchman. Solani to Gillen. Gillen a shot. The rebound. Gillen has 3 whacks at it. And then the Oilers take over. Ryan Smith for Todd Marchand. Marchand around Finley. Finley rides him out. Gillen, penalty coming up to the Winnipeg Jets. It is going to be Malgunas for interference as he took Ryan Smith out of the play in behind the goal. And the Oilers will go on the power play. Power play coming up. Lance, where are you?
Well, I'm sitting not far from the goaltender. You know what's amazing, guys? When you get down here, it's hard to believe how big some of these National Hockey League players are. For WHA, Minnesota Fighting Saints players, for example. It's hard to believe that John Garrett, on the back of that hockey card, was 6'1", 205 pounds. Especially when you see him in person. That has nothing to do with the second intermission, but I thought I'd throw it in anyway. Buffalo Head is joining us in the second intermission. Ken Sutton. I'll see if I can get him to explain why they call him Buffalo Head, if you don't already know. We've also got a news update, and a National Hockey League update, and trivia from Dirt Devil, as always. Boys?
They just wanted my height to match my weight. I was 200 pounds at the time, so they figured, well, what height should he be? 6'1".
So in live and in color, you were the right weight, just the wrong height for that weight.
That's right.
It is weight for the Oilers. For Arnott to Wait. To Mironov at the point. Back to Wait. In front to Arnott. Did not get much on it. Shovelay makes the save. And then the backhander down the ice by Eastwood. And the Oilers will go back. Kravchuk reverses for Mironov. Oilers trailing by 4. Arnott will send the puck in. Cleared down the ice by Finley. And Mironov will go back for it. 1:11 in the power play. 9:45 in the period. Mironov at the line and over against King. Against Manson. Tries to get it into the slot. He does, but there is nobody there. And the Jets will send the Oilers back. Kravchuk for Doug Waite. To Kravchuk. Up for Jason Arnott. Arnott, lead pass. Here comes Doug Waite going in on goal. Shovelay, big save off of Doug Waite. Penalty coming up. It is going to be a slashing call on the Oilers for 38 seconds. We'll have a 2-man advantage.
And they have the face-off deep in the Winnipeg zone to start this 2-man advantage. Doug Waite with the breakaway chance. It's bounced over Daryl Shannon's stick. There's the slash, and it's a high, hard one. And Doug Waite couldn't do much. Once he gets in, he's committed to the backhand. He can't pull it by Tim Cheveldae, and Cheveldae makes a good save. That was a pretty good chop by Daryl Shannon. He was trying to prevent Waite from cutting across. After Shannon took the gamble, the puck bounced over his stick. And a chance for the Oilers. They can cash in early, cash in a couple of times here with the 2-man advantage.
Face off to the right of Shovelday. The Oilers trying to battle back from what has been a bit of a strange second period. The 2 goals by Deron Quint, 4 seconds apart. Ken Sutton at the left point for the Oilers to Yuri Slager. In for Waite. Back to Sutton. Sutton to Waite, scores! Great setup by Ken Sutton, who will be Lance Brown's guest at the end of the second period. Across to Doug Waite, and it's 5-2.
And Doug Waite does such a good job to get his feet in position for this shot. Waite's down low, makes the pass to Sutton, then gets in position for the shot. Facing the pass, and makes no mistake. Nice pass by Sutton, and the shot by Doug Waite. Stick on the ice, feet square to the passer. and he's able to drill it by Tim Shovelbeck.
11th of the year for Doug Waite, his 4th on the power play, and it's 5-2. Oilers still on the power play, 1:45 left in the minor. That is cleared into the Winnipeg bench. Faceoff will come back into the Winnipeg zone. And with that Oiler goal, Emile Roy of Edmonton is a winner by including a Kraft macaroni and cheese dinner proof of purchase and entering Score and Win at Safeway. Emile has won an AGE Spacemaker 2 microwave oven.
And the Oilers have a minute 42 left on the Daryl Shannon slashing penalty.
The Quint, 2 goals, 4 seconds apart. A 64-year-old NHL record currently held by Nell Stewart of the Montreal Maroons, January 3rd, 1931. You remember that one, John?
Yeah, I was there.
At center ice, Sutton for Manderville to Thornton. Thornton across the line to Bookberger to Brian Marchment. And he tried to slide it in front, cleared away and down the ice. Sutton. Back for the Oilers. Cross ice to Doug Waite. Waite dangles in on the right side, slips it in front. Shovelday scoops it away. Stapleton gives it back to Doug Waite. Waite lets it go. That just missed the far corner. Ken Sutton pinches in. Can't keep the puck in the Winnipeg zone. And now Stapleton will send it down the ice. Brian Marchment. Left side for Doug Waite. Waite cross ice to Mironov from Arnott. Mironov sends it in. Shovelday leaves it for Wilkinson. Wilkinson fires it around the glass down the ice. 30 seconds left in the minor penalty. Kravchuk. Across the Winnipeg line for Oliver. For Kravchuk. To Mironov. For Doug Waite. Waite looking for somebody open. Finds Arnott. Arnott's shot hit the side of the net. Kachuk has it knocked off his stick. Kravchuk will keep it in. Kravchuk lets the shot go wide. Rebound. Mironov off the boards. Mironov into the slot to Arnott. Quick shot save made by Shovelday. Arnott chops it for Doug Waite. They're going to roll it. Waite had his stick above the shoulders. And that will bring the face-off out of the Winnipeg zone. 5-2, the Jets lead.
The only problem with having over 350 styles of Nike gear to choose from is that you have to stop to check them out. And who wants to stop? Give the gift of adrenaline. Sport Depot, 60,000 kinds of adrenaline.
Excuse me, Santa? Would you mind moving a little more into the light?
Well, actually, I'm kind of busy, but let's see. Here, this'll help.
Now there's a film designed to enhance your camera's performance in virtually any light. Fujifilm Super G Plus, the most advanced film for today's automatic cameras.
Won't be the same when the Jets leave Winnipeg. The dancing man, what's he going to do?
He'll dance for the Moose. Minnesota Moose of the International League coming to Winnipeg next year. We've had that gentleman quit dancing. He gave us a minute of entertainment during that commercial break.
A lot of cutbacks here.
He says, I only dance for 60 seconds at a time. Here comes Deron Quint to Manson. Cross ice to Solani. Solani down the right side. Goes in, scores! Hat trick for Solani as he puts it through the legs of Joaquin Gage. And it is 6-2 for the Winnipeg Jets.
Eddie O had the hat trick against Montreal. Teemu Selanne here against the Edmonton Oilers Luke Richardson tries to chop Solani down. A pretty good two-hander right there, but look at the strength of Solani. He doesn't go down, picks a spot, and buries it. Here comes Solani. Richardson can't catch him. So there's the two-hand chop, but the strength of Solani stays on his feet and then beats Joaquin Gage.
The Winnipeg Jets, I think, are complaining about the slash that was not called. Obviously feeling it maybe was worth a major penalty.
The hand was up. Lance Roberts had the hand up, so when the puck goes in, the penalty is nullified. There's the slash. It's a pretty good two-hander, but Solani stayed on his feet and beat Joaquin Gage. And Solani doesn't look like he's any the worse for wear.
And I'm sure that's what Lance Roberts based his decision on as to whether or not he was going to call a major or not. Solani did not seem to be bothered by the slash.
Didn't slow him down any.
Certainly didn't. 6-2. Winnipeg Jets take the lead. Third of the night for Solani. He's had a goal post, and he's had a couple of other chances where Joaquin Gage made a very good save off him. Vanderbilt spins to get away from Tkachuk. Vanderbilt to the Winnipeg line and backhands it in. Shovelday around the boards. Kept in by the Oilers. Thornton for Kelly Buchberger. Try to get it back to Scott Thornton. It deflects off a stick and into the stands. And another stoppage.
That puck up and over the glass. This is the shortest glass in the NHL around the ice here at the Winnipeg Arena. And they were going to make improvements, but with the team moving out of town, who's going to pay for them? There's the short glass, even at the ends. It's danger pay when you sit behind the nets there. There's lots of pucks that get deflected, just go up over the glass, and you better be watching the puck at all times. And then look at those partitions. There's a better shot of the partitions than Deron Quint's second goal, and a critical goal in this game that beat Joaquin Gage. Hit one of those partitions, right angles from the red line and in.
John, that's one of those goals that is ugly enough to be the winner.
Play of the day on all the highlights, too. When you're the goalie, you're out behind the net watching it go in.
Wilkinson for the Jets for Stapleton. Stapleton hit by Manderville. Jets get the puck into the center ice area. Buchberger for Ken Sutton. Sutton, long shot. Shovelday stops that one and leaves it for Wilkinson. Wilkinson watched by Manderville. Into the corner, McKenzie is there. McKenzie is double-teamed by Manderville and Buchberger, but gets the puck for Shannon to Eastwood, and Eastwood will send it in. McKenzie hustles after it. Sutton gets there first and feeds Scott Thornton. Thornton for Brian Marchment, right side to Buchberger. Buchberger across the line, tried to get the puck around Finley. Finley got the stick to break that up. Bouncing puck in the neutral zone is gobbled up by Eastwood. Oilers start a line change, and Sutton comes back. Sutton across the line to Bonsignor. Bonsignor back to Sutton. Sutton trying to find an open man. Still has it at the line. Through some traffic, lets it go wide of the short side, and Eastwood has it. Just sends it to center ice. Sutton flips it right into the Oiler bench, and Coach Ron Lowe had to duck very quickly to get out of the way of that. And it ends up in the Winnipeg bench.
Oh, there we are. Dennis, it's our fault. The schedule on CFRN, and we try and get quality games. Detroit Red Wings are, I would say, right now the best team in the league. Well, we've had them on 3 times. The end of a 5-game trip. We do a game in Calgary, the 5th game of a 5-game trip in 8 nights. And we've had some tough games on CFRN. I'm rationalizing all this.
You mentioned the Wings, 15-2 in their last 17 outings. Shot from a sharp angle, save, rebound. Turcotte hustling after it. Drake has the puck for the Jets. He loses the battle along the boards, and Kravchuk starts it back to Shatan. Shatan has Bonsignor busting to the front of the net. Shatan lets it go. It does not get through. Kravchuk behind the goal. Bonsignor lets it go to Shatan. Shatan tried to get it out front to Tyler Wright. Mironov from the right point whistles it wide. Shatan to Bonsignor. Tried to get it to Mironov. Wright hustles after it. Wright takes a stick from King, and a penalty coming up to the Jets, and now King gets tripped up on the play by Tyler Wright, and again, King makes sure that the entire world knows that he was bumped.
Not going to matter. King's going off for hooking.
You're watching the Oilers live on CFRN.
Play Safeway, score and win. When the Oilers score on CFRN, you could win a set of quality appliances from Tefal, a 20-piece set of Mikasa fine china in the Currents pattern, a Gold Star StarTouch 2 VCR, or a Texas Instruments personal organizer. You can also win a trip for two to Mazatlan, Mexico, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. Safeway's participating products, Campbell's Soup and General Mills Bugles. Score and win at Safeway, today's better way.
The human face, a landscape, difficult terrain where certain hairs grow taller, longer. Introducing a revolutionary 3-stage shaving system, Braun Flex Integral. The first foil removes short hairs. An integrated cutter shaves longer hairs. And the second foil completes the job. New Flex Integral, for Braun's closest shave yet. Braun, the world's most recognized shave.
Canadian Tire has great prices on everything you need. Plus, earn Canadian Tire money with every cash purchase of merchandise. Great prices made better at Canadian Tire.
Chris King in the penalty box for the high hook on Tyler Wright. It could have been high stick. It was right around Wright's neck.
Oliver hustles after it. For Waite to Kravchuk to Mironov. Watched by Gillen, sends it in. Shovelday the save. Manson round on the boards for Gillen. Gillen can't get it past Mironov. Doug Waite has it. To Kravchuk. He tried to one-time it, but Turcotte got that to break it up. Here comes Turcotte, short-handed on a breakaway. Goes in, and Gage gets the left pad down. The net comes off the peg as Boris Mironov goes crashing into the Oiler net, and we have a stoppage of play.
Short-handed breakaway. Darren Turcotte knocked down the high pass. Mironov tries to give him the hook, can't get him. Turcotte goes to the backhand but doesn't get it high enough, and then Turcotte gets hit in the mouth with the puck off Joaquin Gage's pad. Checking out his teeth, and they aren't his teeth. I know he's got the false ones like so many other hockey players.
Seems to be all right. Faceoff will be back in the Oilers zone. The Marsh pegs in use here at the Winnipeg Arena. The rubber peg that goes into the ice. Many feel that is much safer. Here comes Kravchuk. Lead pass for David Oliver. Oliver's going on a breakaway the other way. Scores! David Oliver again finding that opening in behind the Jet defense. And it's 6-3.
This is a replay of the power play goal we saw earlier when we were showing highlights of David Oliver before his quick interview. Power play, it has to be on the forehand. Oliver takes the pass on the forehand, cuts in, and what a nice move. Fakes the shot to free Shovelday, and then just draws it around to the forehand, slides it in.
That is his 12th goal of the year, 11 of them on the power play.
Fakes the shot right there, freezes Tim Shovelday, and then just draws it across and slides it into the empty net.
Sandstrom, 11 power play goals this year as well. Mario leads that category. Lemieux with 13 power play goals on the season, so Oliver certainly right up there in that category. Second power play goal of the night for the Oilers. And they are trying to hang in there, but it has been tough. Here comes Thornton. Long shot. Shovelday kicks it to the corner. Randy Gillen just flips it out of the zone. And Ken Sutton will bring it back for Thornton. Back for Sutton. For Bookberger. Lets it go to Manderville. With Malgunas in on him. Tried to get it to Brian Marchment. But it was in tight, and it comes to center. Sutton spins away from Jamnock. Shovelday with Bookberger in on him. Scott Thornton, sharp angle, quick shot goes wide. Gillen against Manderville. And Gillen will get it to center ice to Solani. Solani in on Brian Marchment. Solani trying to find somebody open, finds Tkachuk. Gage save off Tkachuk. Here comes Bonsignor trying to get a 3-on-2 going. Bonsignor across the line. Bonsignor gets it in front. Manson roll it into Shovelday. And with that last goal by the Oilers, a Safeway score and win. A lucky contestant, Wendy Kachuk of Two Hills, qualified by attaching a proof of purchase from Kraft Singles to a ballot provided by Safeway. As a result, Wendy has won a Texas Instruments personal organizer.
Jason Bonsignor, using his size, goes wide, but he can't cut to the net. Deron Quint cuts him off, and then Dave Manson almost slid it into his own net. Joaquin Gage has made a couple of good saves. It might be a little too late, but late here in this period to keep his team at least within sight of the Winnipeg Jets.
Manson, he'll send it around the boards. Gage not taking any chances, stayed in his net and let that one go around. Down to an open left wing. Quint hustles after it. Shatan hustles after him. Quint tied a 64-year-old NHL record tonight with 2 goals, 4 seconds apart. Olczyk gives way at the Oiler line. Doan hustles after it against Tyler Wright. Wright gives Doan a shot. Bonsignor can't pick it up. Olczyk spins, fires. Gage kicks it out. Kachuk battles for it into the slot. Olczyk ripped it wide to the far corner. Rebound caroms all the way to center. Quint back for the Jets. For Doan. Doan flips it through to Kachuk. Kachuk goes after it along with Wright. Around the boards for Bonsignor. To Shatan. Shatan one-on-one against Wilkinson. Shatan drops to Slager up on the play, and Slager had a clear path to the net. Overskated the puck. Bonsignor had it go off his stick. And Igor Kravchuk takes over. Kravchuk for Slager. He couldn't handle the pass. We're in the final minute of the second period. Turcotte into the Oilers zone. Turcotte, quick wrist shot. He ripped that one wide of the short side. Puck loose in the crease at the side of the net. Turcotte centers it in front. Gage kicks it away. King in the corner after it. Takes a bit of a bump from Arnott. At the point, Shannon whistled it wide. It is Oliver for Doug Waite. Waite tried to get around Chris King, could not. And the Jets flip it back to the Oiler line. Mironov backhands it for Doug Waite. For Arnott down the right side. Arnott going in. Arnott reluctant to shoot because of that sore thumb. And he could not find a man open in front. At center, Drake takes a bump from Doug Waite. Kravchuk as the seconds wind down. Kravchuk, long shot. Shovelday gets the right pad out. Another shot from a sharp angle. Shovelday gloves it. And the second period comes to an end. And John, a strange second period it was.
Strange second period. Couple of bad hop goals, but a goaltender's nightmare. That team defense we were talking about disappeared in that second period. Outmanned chances, outnumbered chances at both ends. At least in the 20s, breakaways, 2-on-1s, and you don't win many games when you give up 2-on-1s to Jean-Marvin Solani.
Oilers thought they had tied it up at one time. The goal was disallowed. And then Ron Lowe's charges saw Deron Quint, the rookie, bang in 2 4 seconds apart. 40 seconds gone by at the Winnipeg Arena. The Winnipeg Jets are leading this one by a count of 6-3.
Just how many different things in this world run on batteries? At Radio Shack, we've got over 6,000 different long-lasting, affordable batteries. So, chances are we've got a battery for just about anything in your world. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
It's non-stop country. Don't miss the 96 Big Valley Jamboree this August in Camrose. Enjoy your country favorites like Alabama, Mark Chestnut, Toby Keith, Terry Clark. Buy your 4-day package special now and save up to $23 off the hottest concert in town. The Big Valley Jamboree. This special offer is only available until January 15th. So call 672-0224 today and make this a very special Christmas.
What is Kellogg's Mueslix? Mueslix cereal has home-baked tastes like delicious apple crisp. Mueslix is an abundance of textures, ingredients like crispy flakes of whole grain, flavors of fruit, cascades of nuts, and crunchy granola. And now we bring you Kellogg's new Apple Crisp Mueslix. Kellogg's Mueslix. Wake up to home-baked taste.
You search for the scent of your prey, and then you hunt them down.
It keeps me sharp, where I gotta be. In a world where violence is wholesale.
The bank is worth the risk. You're up.
There's a saga waiting to unfold.
If I'm there and I gotta put you away, you are going down. You will not get in my way for a second.
Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, Heat.
Now playing at a theater near you.
And now, important Christmas financial advice from the expert.
Money. Introducing Canadian Tire Money. Every time you spend cash at Canadian Tire, you get this money back. It looks, feels, and smells like money, and most importantly, it spends like money at any Canadian Tire store. So now, when you Christmas shop at Canadian Tire, you get a little bonus back for yourself. It's like money.
Canadian Tire Money lets you give like Santa, save like Scrooge.
Back in Winnipeg, where it's not as frosty outside as it has been in for the Oilers, 6-3 after 40 minutes of play. Once again, the Oilers have their work cut out. The last time they were here, much the same story. They lost 4-0. Ken Sutton joins us now. Kenny, let's talk first of all about the way that the team played in the second period. You mentioned just before we came back that it had to be awfully demoralizing for these guys to think you may have been 2-2 and then wind up down 4-1 a few seconds later.
Yeah, we were battling pretty hard to get the tie and goal, and we thought we had it, and review says that it was kicked in, so it's 2-1 off the draw, or we take a penalty, they get a power play goal, 3-1, and then 5 seconds later, or however long it took, it's in our net off the glass, so it's 4-1. Yeah. We go from 2-2 to 4-1, awfully quick.
Yeah, it's tough for a young hockey team, too, especially something that I've mentioned, I think I'm noticing this correctly, tell me if I'm wrong, is that sometimes a team gets a little bit too far down when something like this happens. Sometimes when they score, they get up. You see them get up, but then when they get scored against, they get down. Is that true, first of all?
Well, I think it's awfully true for our team, especially how young we are. We want to stay on an even keel, even when we were undefeated in 4 games. We tried to stay, we didn't want to get too high coming into tonight, and unfortunately, it hasn't panned out the way we wanted it, so maybe we should have been thinking a little more positively before tonight's game.
All right, which brings me, thank you. That was very nicely done, to the positive thinking seminars that this team has had. How many have you had? 3 or 4 now? And 3. And what do they do?
Well, Ross Anderson is a gentleman's name who runs it, and basically he's just trying to open your mind to different ways to prepare yourself for a game or even life. I mean, it doesn't really... obviously doesn't have to be just for hockey. It's for every walk of life, any job that any person can have. I'm sure he has these for all types of people. And what happens is the players, they gather around in a group of about 8, and other players tell you how they feel that, what you bring to the team or what you have to work on to help the team. So you're hearing from your peers on what you have to improve on.
Is what they tell you always positive, or do they let you have it sometimes?
Oh, no. I mean, there are some heated discussions in there. I mean, it's not a time or place to beat around the bush. I mean, you got to be up front with a person, be totally honest, and that's what happened.
But when they start, hey, Buffalo Head, and then they go from there. Now, do you want to explain to everybody what Buffalo Head's all about?
Well, I got the nickname just because I played in Buffalo. Some of the guys think I have a larger head than most guys, but they try on my helmet, and it's not. So, I think it's just it's a fallacy on their part to think that I have a big head. I think they're just insecure about their own selves, maybe, and they're trying to take it out on me.
Yeah, but there's another 21 of them, and you got to come up with nicknames for everybody, so that's tough, even for somebody with a large head.
It's an uphill climb every day, I'll tell you that.
All right. Ken, thanks very much for, first of all, being such a good sport, because it's tough. I know when you're down 6-3, but good luck, Buffalo Head, with the rest of this game and the rest of the season.
My pleasure, Mick.
There you go, and we won't explain what that one is until much later. 6-3, the score after 2 periods. The news department's going to have an update. They won't explain what Mick means either. And then Dirt Devil will bring along their red-hot trivia in a bit.
Just use your natural feeling.
Lady Shave Aqua with Body Select, the first wet and dry shaver with a 2-position head that adapts to each part of your body. Baby Shave Aqua with Body Select from Philips. Let's make things better.
Rocky, what's all the fuss at the subway up ahead? I think we're about to find out. Wow, look at all this food. I feel like I'm at a wedding. That's the beauty of this place. You can get your sandwich made any way you like it. Hey, Bucky, every time we go to Subway, there's something new and different. Don't these people ever slow down?
Hi! I've got half of this commercial to tell you that for a limited time, when you buy any hot or cold 6-inch sandwich from Subway, you'll get another one of equal or lesser value for half price. 6 inches of Subway's fresh baked bread with free fixins. Now that's a half price sale.
International Stereo's annual sale of the season is on now, and it's big. How big? Big. Each year, International Stereo saves you money on gifts for every budget, plus financing for up to 3 years. Save on everything from camcorders to portable CD players, from VCRs to home theater. We have the best selection of car audio and car starters. Christmas is arriving soon, so don't miss our sale of the season. On now at all 6 International Stereo locations.
International Stereo, just the world for you.
Let the force be with you. The driving force. We're clearing out inventory. Over 150 used trucks in stock. Over 70 new arrivals from our lease department. Now is the time to buy at Grove Rentals and Leasing. Hurry in for best selection. Check out the fantastic prices on top-of-the-line used vehicles. Don't miss out on this inventory clear-out at Grove Rentals and Leasing. The driving force. 160th Street and Stony Plain Road. Call 483-9559 or 444-6611.
This Eyewitness News Update is sponsored by Subway, where fresh is the taste.
Hello, everyone. In the news at this hour, an Edmonton couple is asking some very serious questions tonight about our healthcare system. Let's take a look. The Carters had a baby this week. They were hoping to have it delivered at the Grey Nuns Hospital. Instead, the child was born in a hotel room because the hospital said it didn't have room.
And they said, well, there's no bed for you, so you have to relax.
Have a warm tub and relax.
Yeah.
She was actually fairly scared after she talked to them at the hospital, and they said they didn't have a room because she knew it was coming pretty quick.
With 2 children looking on, Tim called 911 and helped deliver the baby. A spokesperson for the Grey Nuns says the hospital is looking into whether or not proper procedure was followed. Starting Monday, ambulance workers will withhold billing information from the city. It's to back their contract demands. City Manager Richard Pitcherak views this as a serious escalation, saying ambulance workers are required to provide billing information. If they don't, the next step may be a lockout. And the provincial government is signing a political truce with Alberta's doctors. The Tories are backing away from a $100 million cut to physician services. The doctors claim their public pressure campaign is one reason why the government is giving up.
This Eyewitness News Update was sponsored by Subway, where fresh is the taste.
Excuse me, Santa? Would you mind moving a little more into the light?
Well, actually, I'm kind of busy, but let's see. Here, this'll help.
Now there's a film designed to enhance your camera's performance in virtually any light. Fujifilm Super G Plus, the most advanced film for today's automatic cameras.
This Christmas at Future Shop Discount Supercenters, you can save on audio, video, appliances, and computers. Save up to 70% on specially marked in-store clearance items. Plus, with purchase of selected computer packages, get $100 off any Hewlett-Packard printer. Plus, get 6 months no payments, no interest option on all computer packages. And there's no GST on selected audio and video. It's happening now at Future Shop. Don't miss it.
Dirt Devil presents Red Hot Trivia. Brought to you by Dirt Devil, makers of the MVP vacuum. Nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil. Which 2 players hold the Vancouver record for the most points in a season by a rookie? We'll have the answer right after this.
Take a
tip from Santa and give the Dirt Devil hand vac. Help someone you love clean up this Christmas.
Which two players hold the Vancouver record for the most points in the season by a rookie? Need a hint? The records were set 10 years apart. The first player to score 60 points in his rookie year with Vancouver did so in 1981-82. He only played 2 seasons with Vancouver, collecting 123 points. Ivan Halinka starred for many years in Czechoslovakia before joining the NHL, and in his first year at the age of 32, scored 23 goals with 37 assists for a new Vancouver record. The other Canuck rookie to score 60 points in his rookie year is one of the most exciting players in the NHL today. In 1991-92, Pavel Bure, the Russian Rocket, scored 34 goals and 26 assists to tie Halinka's record and earn him the Calder Trophy as NHL Rookie of the Year. Ivan Halinka and Pavel Bure, the holders of the Vancouver rookie record for the most points in a season. Another red-hot trivia brought to you by Dirt Devil, makers of the MVP vacuum. Nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil.
Not far from what many call the coldest street corner in Canada, the corner of Portage and Main, the Edmonton Oilers have been given another chilly reception by the Winnipeg Jets. The score is 6-3. 63, 38, and 8. The Edmonton Oilers are lifetime, and that includes the Alberta Oilers of the World Hockey Association against the Winnipeg Jets in 109 games played. They're going to have to go a ways tonight. The story of the game so far, well, a close contest, maybe 2-2. The Oilers thought it was proved otherwise. And then 2 quick goals by Deron Quint, tying a National Hockey League record in 4 seconds. And that very quickly seemed to give the Jets the jump and subdue the Oilers. Teemu Selanne also with 3 goals for the Jets so far. That's the story here. Here's the rest of the story in the National Hockey League. This just about to get underway. The Ducks won for the first time in 9 Wednesday. Allison should last at Ottawa until season's end. The Wings have lost just 1 of their last 8 now. Erie with 2 at the Joe. The Whalers had lost 5 of their last 6 until this. 4-2 over Colorado. The Avalanche struggling just a little bit in what will be mid-season soon. The Hawks have won 1 of their last 5. Jablonski against Belfour. The Habs scoring 3 straight after being down 1-0 on a goal by Daze of Chicago. The Stars have lost their last 5 straight. It could be 6. Sandstrom with 2, 1 of those on the power play, much like David Oliver. The Rangers were unbeaten in 11. This isn't final yet, but very close to it. The Sabres had won 1 of their last 5 until this. 1 minute to go at the Odd in Buffalo. And here the Oilers are trying to win their last ever at the Winnipeg Arena. They'll have to go some to do it.
Season's greetings. We're wishing you a happy holiday with all the best from Sears. So for 4 days only, get our best offer of the year. You can beat the GST on all furniture, beat the GST on all major appliances, including Kenmore, and beat the GST on these home electronics. Plus, use your Sears card and don't pay for 1 full year. All the best from all of us at Sears. Beat the GST and don't pay for 1 full year. It all ends this weekend.
Expect more from Sears.
Unique, with an inner fire and an irresistible natural beauty. There's no mistaking a brilliance that lasts forever. This Christmas, surprise her with a diamond beyond all her expectations.
Back upstairs at the Winnipeg Arena, Dennis Mayak and John Garrett with you. It was 2-1 at the end of 1 period of play. We've talked about the wild second period. Deron Quint, 7:51 on a power play. And then 4 seconds later, off the glass, a weird bounce. And the Winnipeg Jets were off and running. Selanne is 15th at 8:53. Wade made it 5-2. Selanne gets the hat trick at 13:13. Oliver gets a power play goal at 16:21. And we are set to start period number 3. Very quickly, offside is called.
Edmonton Oilers had 2 power play goals, one by David Oliver and the other one by Doug Waite. We'll take a look at Doug Waite. It's a perfect pass from Sutton to Waite. He gets his feet in position to shoot the puck, and he beats Tim Cheveldae. And then Luke Richardson tries to cut down Teemu Selanne. Can't, and Selanne goes through the legs of Joaquin Gage. Joaquin Gage has had some problems with that one tonight. Breakaways, the 2-on-1s.
Mironov fires it into the Winnipeg zone. That comes off the boards strangely. Hits the side of the net, but there for it is Manson. Manson in full flight. Gets to the center ice red line and backhands it in. Gage plays it away from the traffic. And Kravchuk will bring it back. For Jason Arnott. Arnott in on Manson. Arnott puts on the brakes. Battles forward with Olczyk. This line a little bit, or what was the top line for the Oilers. Doug Waite suffering from the flu. Jason Arnott has the sprained thumb, and Zdeno Seeger not here. Shane Doan's shot. That goes off Kravchuk to the corner. Kravchuk for the Oilers, up for Doug Waite. Waite in on the left side. Quick shot. Cheveldae gets the glove in front of it. Couldn't squeeze it, but the Jets scoop the rebound to center ice. Slager gets it back to the Jet line. Malgunas overskated it. And the Jets take over. Gillen. For Finley, for Gillen. For Malgunas. Off the glass to the Oiler line where Yuri Slager is there. Yuri Slager for Manderville. Manderville trying to find a seam. And Finley and Malgunas get back to squeeze him out. Shamna for Gillen. Gillen to the red line, goes to flip it in, and it goes high. He does flip it in, and Yuri Slager is there. Slager tries a lead pass, batted out of midair by Wilkinson. Wilkinson can't get anywhere, and back comes Buchberger. Buchberger drops for Luke Richardson, his shot. He gets the rebound, tried to slip it through, and play now whistled down, and we have a stoppage of play. Third period action brought to you by Nicholson Chevels, where family pride delivers for over 50 years.
Wayne Forsey is the usual video judge here in Winnipeg. He's here again tonight, former NHL linesman. But the supervisor tonight is Dave Newell, and he's sitting in the video room. And the video room phoned down on the Manderville goal. It wasn't the referee, it wasn't the Jets complaining, and that's their job. They're supposed to do that if they see a goal that was scored through an infraction. They phoned down. That goal disallowed, a key turning point in this game tonight.
At the line, Brian Marchment. Behind the net for Ryan Smith. Wilkinson is there for the Jets. Gets stopped by Todd Marchant. Sharp angle shot. Cheveldae to save. Penalty coming up as Wilkinson decks Todd Marchant after Marchant took the puck away.
A good save by Tim Cheveldae, and Wilkinson, after the Marchant shot, punches Marchant in the head. The shot, the whistle, and there's the right hand. He knocks Marchant down and takes the roughing penalty.
So the Oilers will go back on the power play. 2:17, the time of the roughing call against Neil Wilkinson. 6-3, the Jets with the lead. Oilers return home tomorrow morning. Will take on the Ottawa Senators at the Coliseum on Monday, and then the Colorado Avalanche on Wednesday. So Ron Lowe down by 3 here in the third period. Sees his team go back on the power play.
Colorado's on a funny road trip, play in Toronto and then Buffalo, down to Hartford and then out to Edmonton.
They'll be getting the air miles in. Manson gives way to Doug Waite. Waite for Jason Arnott to Doug Waite. Cross ice to Oliver. Did not quite get through as Tkachuk and Manson both got a piece of it and finally slowed it down enough to allow the Jets to clear it down the ice. Arnott takes the pass from Kravchuk. Gets it for Mironov. Mironov charges through. Gets it for Doug Waite. Into the slot to Kravchuk. Back for Doug Waite. Waite watched by Manson. for David Oliver. Off his stick. He'll chop it for Jason Arnott. Hops over his stick. And Kachuk will bring it out for the Jets. Long shot stopped by Gage. And he'll leave for Kravchuk. Right side for Doug Waite. He'll rattle it around the board. Cheveldae will stop it. And it's picked up by Stuart Malgunas. Malgunas fires it around the boards down the ice. And the Oilers will have to go back again. Jason Arnott has it for the Oilers. 50 seconds in the power play. Arnott tied up on the play by Stapleton. Shannon gets the puck, and he'll send the Oilers back. Kravchuk with Eastwood right in on him. Kravchuk reverses to Sutton. Sutton right side for Bonsignor. Bonsignor to Chatan. Chatan ridden out hard by David Manson. Off the stick of Stapleton into the goal crease area. And Cheveldae will smother it and hang on to it for the faceoff. Coming up at the Coliseum, Saturday, January 6th at 11 o'clock. The super skills for the Oilers. And there's the various categories that they will be competing in. Lance Brown and I will be part of that production at the Coliseum. So join us. Just $3 to get in the door.
Bargain price, and some of the guys who win, you'd be surprised. Yves Thoreau, when he was with the Montreal Canadiens, won for the hardest shot. Brett Hedican was the fastest skater on the Vancouver Canucks.
The top four in each conference will appear at the All-Star game, which will be in Boston. Here comes Turcotte as he steals the puck. Turcotte could not get a backhand shot away, and Bonsignor takes over. Bonsignor to the line. Long shot. Cheveldae blocker save. Rebound to Finley. Finley can't get it past Brian Marchment. Now we have King down in the Winnipeg zone. Brian Marchment will send it back in. Cheveldae reacted late. Here comes Tyler Wright. Scores! Tyler Wright gets his first of the season as he drills it, and it is 6-4. The power play had just expired.
Chris King thought there should have been a penalty called, and in his frustration when there was no penalty called, there's Chris King. He gets up, this rebound, he just slaps it, and he slaps it right to Tyler Wright. And this is a rocket through the Chris King screen, and it beats Tim Cheveldae high. There's Chris King kind of out to block it, but I'm not going to block it. Cheveldae almost took it off the chin. It's over his shoulder and in.
So the fourth line combining for a couple of goals tonight for the Oilers. One for Chatan, one for Wright. Wilkinson takes a check in behind the net from Manderville. Oilers back to within 2. Here comes Gillen. Gillen fires it around. Gage just lets it go. And it's Thornton for Buchberger. Buchberger trying to get a breakaway. Buchberger in on the left side. And he gets checked from behind. And then he takes a high stick on the play. Loose puck in front. And Schlager unable to get a stick on it. Buchberger behind the net. He gets stopped by Shannon. At the line, kept in by Schlager. The shot is wide. Buchberger hustles after it for Manderville. Manderville tried to get around the far side, stopped by Shannon. Richardson keeps it in, though, takes a check from Jamnoff, and it comes to center ice. Schlager, tied up by Jamnoff, kicks it to Solani, scores! Timo Solani, his fourth of the night. That his 17th on the season.
Jerry Schlager's the last man back and tried to handle it. Alexei Zhamnov stripped Schlager of the puck, used his feet, last man back to make the play quickly. Schlager doesn't. Zhamnov to Slaney, and the quick shot off the wrong foot fools Joaquin Gage.
Kelly Buchberger at the Oiler bench is furious.
Not a bad shot by Teemu Selanne off the wrong foot, pulling it the other way. Kelly Buchberger has a semi-breakaway, and he's complaining. There's the high stick. Buchberger was hit with that high stick, and he was complaining about the high stick. No penalty called. The Jets come back, same shift, and score.
7-4. The Jets have their 3-goal lead back. Manson swings it around the boards to center ice. Kravchuk sends it back in. Tkachuk to Quint. Right side. Unable to get anywhere was Doan. Offside called against the Winnipeg Jets. It is 7-4. Winnipeg leading.
Nothing added, nothing taken away.
To celebrate the holiday season, AGT is giving you a great deal on long-distance prices. Any evening from December 26th to 30th, you can call anywhere in Canada for just 49 cents or less for 3 minutes, no matter how long you talk. But remember, these holiday prices won't last forever. Just 49 cents or less for 3 minutes. To make sure you're getting these great prices, call us today and have a safe and happy holiday season.
And Tyler Wright's first goal of the season makes the winner out of Annie Zazaluk of Edmonton. She shopped at Safeway, purchased Eagle brand condensed milk, and entered Score and Win. Congratulations, Annie. You've won a Mikasa 20-piece dinnerware set. Shane Doan lets the wrist shot go from the right side. Gage makes the save. Todd Marchand couldn't pick up the pass at center ice. And the Jets will send it back to the Oiler line. Manson clears it in. Maltby runs into Doan, and Kravchuk gets it left side. Cross-ice pass by Ryan Smith is picked off by Tkachuk for Olczyk. Olczyk fanned on the shot. Takes a check from Mironov. Doan goes in after the loose puck, but Maltby takes over. Maltby flips it down to the Winnipeg blue line. Hustling after it, Todd Marchand. It's knocked away from him, and here comes Olczyk. His pass doesn't get anywhere. Here comes Ryan Smith around Finley. Smith is hauled down by Finley. Ryan Marchment now goes in and rattles Finley into the boards in the corner, but Finley has the puck for Winnipeg. For McKenzie. McKenzie in center to Eastwood. His pass goes off Stapleton's skates, and David Oliver's right back. For Waite, in for Arnott, going in, and it just went off the end of his stick, and then Shovelday came out and makes the save. Arnott along the boards behind the net to Oliver. Oliver hustles back to the line to Sutton. Shot right on. Blocker save by Shovelday. Eastwood can't get anywhere. Sutton for Brian Marchment. Marchment lead pass to Doug Waite. It's going to be offside as soon as Waite touches it. And we get a stoppage of play. This is your Molson Canadian hockey telecast.
Doesn't have spirit. It's not worth doing. Stretch out.
'Tis the season to spend time with my precious family.
'Tis more about spending your precious money.
Uncle Scrooge, I've been saving on all the Yuletide treasures at Canadian Tire. Like this Makita 9.6-volt drill kit, plus a bonus pack that includes a quick driver and an extra battery. And bells on Bobtail's ring, it was only $179.99. Saving on all these gifts at Canadian Tire makes me feel all warm, tingly.
Maybe it's the eggnog.
Canadian Tire lets you give like Santa and save like Scrooge.
Teemu Selanne jumping up in the goal-scoring race for it, and we've still got 12:26 left. Doug Waite right there with Wayne Gretzky.
It is Sutton. Cross ice for Brian Marchment. Marchment flips it into the air into the Winnipeg zone. There for it is Manson. Manson banks it off the boards past Ken Sutton, and it goes back to the Oiler goal line where Sutton has to retreat for Brian Marchment. Oilers bring it back past the center ice. That's gobbled up by the Jets. Drake, left side. Gage save on the short side. Ken Sutton for Doug Waite. Waite slowly picks his way to the blue line, trying to lead past to Jason Arnott. That failed to click, and then a two-line pass called against the Winnipeg Jets. Face-off will come back.
Jason Arnott, the big line, getting a chance to double shift with that break that we had taken, but Terry Simpson changed his line. Ron Lowe came back with the same line, and Terry Simpson wanted to get his matchup out against Jason Arnott and Doug Waite as they were carrying the play, and there's still lots of time left. The way this game is going, goals scored in bunches by both teams. Terry Simpson trying not to take any chances.
Billy Ranford in behind Jason Arnott. Joaquin Gage gets the start tonight for the Oilers. It has been a goalie's nightmare. There has been great chances at both ends of the ice. Ranford bothered a little bit by a sore ankle, getting a rare night off. I'm sure we'll see him back in the pipes Monday in Edmonton against the Ottawa Senators. It is Shannon. Pass up the middle, fails to click, wave off the icing, and Gage flips it up on the glass. Jamnov, unable to control it the first time, gets it to Solani. Cross-ice pass, shot from the point, pad save by Gage. Here comes Tyler Wright, 3-on-2 to Bonsignor. Solani catches up to Bonsignor. Chatan takes a whack at the puck, and it goes to Shannon for Randy Gillen. Gillen across the line to Solani, but it's offside at the Oiler line, and we get a stoppage. Solani with 4 goals tonight, 17 on the season, hit a goalpost on a breakaway. Pretty good night's work.
Not bad, and it looks like the old Teemu Solani. It looks like the Solani from year one, using his speed, not afraid to go wide, not afraid to cut to the net. And Alexei Zhamnov is having a great night, too, as he's assisted on 3 of the 4 Solani goals. And when those two are clicking, they're pretty hard to watch, especially when the home team has the chance to match whatever line they want. They've had Solani and Zhamnov out there against whoever Terry Simpson has chosen.
Mironov, cross ice to Kravchuk. His pass does not materialize. They wave off the icing. Todd Marchand can't chop it back. Here comes Keith Tkachuk with Olchek. Tkachuk puts on the brakes in front, and Ryan Smith, back-checking, is going to get a penalty. And yet if you roll that back far enough, Ryan Smith was actually interfered with at center ice, and that allowed the Winnipeg player to get ahead of him, but nonetheless, the Jets are going to go on the power play.
It was Shane Doan who goes to the net. Ryan Smith has position. Watch Doan here. The hook on Smith to get his position and draw the penalty. A good heads-up play by Doan, and Smith was taken in by the little hook. He ends up taking the penalty, and the Winnipeg Jets go back on the power play.
10:32 to go in period 3. 7-4 was 2-1 after 1. Ron Lowe's team was down by 1. They thought they had tied it up early in the second. The goal was then disallowed. It was by Kent Manderville. He ruled that it was kicked in. The Jets come right back, get one on the power play by Quint. 4 seconds later, Quint gets another one off the glass as Gage went out to block it behind the net. Came off one of the partitions and made its way into the net.
Last time Teemu Solani got 4 goals was February 28th in '93, and on that night he broke Mike Bossy's record for goals by a rookie.
And he has 4 more tonight. Down the ice it goes, and Cheveldae, who has been carrying the mail for the Winnipeg Jets with the injury to Happy Bullet, leaves for Tkachuk. Tkachuk to Zhamnov. Zhamnov on the right side has Solani, and he drilled it high and wide of the short side. Here comes Buchberger with Todd Marchand, 2-on-1. Buchberger drills it wide to the far side. Rebound all the way to center. Here comes Olchek. Olchek in for Zhamnov to Tkachuk. The pass was blocked by Sutton. Tkachuk has it again. Tkachuk on the Jets power play to Solani. Solani to Tkachuk, and that goes off Brian Marchment. Buchberger for Marchment. And Marchment will put it right off the helmet of Jamna. To Solani, and he shot it wide. Back to Jamna. Blocked by Brian Marchment. Then it goes to Olchek, but it is whistled down, knocked down by a high stick. Faceoff will come all the way down the ice because of the fact the Jets are on the power play. Lance Brown.
Gentlemen, we talked to Alexei Zhamnov before the game about 5 goals against Los Angeles. Solani's not far from that. This is okay, other games in the National Hockey League just underway at the Pond. The Sens have won just one of their last 17. The Wings within 2 of the best record in the NHL now. Here's the upset special, that one on the bottom. 4-2 Hartford over Colorado. Sorry, John Garrett, I know you gave some advice to some people who are gambling. Vince Damphousse with another point from Montreal tonight. He has 9 points in his last 5 games. Stars have lost 6 in a row, allowing 32 goals in their last 7 games played, if in fact they do lose tonight.
And for the first time in a long time, the Rangers going down to defeat. Turcotte for Quint. His cross-ice pass intercepted by Scott Thornton. Thornton will send it back. 36 seconds left in the penalty to Ryan Smith, and Turcotte retreats. Ahead of steam for Turcotte. For Drake. Puts on the brakes against Richardson. Back for Turcotte, back to Drake. Takes the shot. Gets it to Turcotte, back to Drake. One-timer save on the short side by Joaquin Gage. A bouncing puck. Cleared to the line. Kept in by Turcotte. Turcotte's shot sails off a stick. Over the glass, up and out of play.
Nice save by Joaquin Gage on the one-timer by Dallas Drake. We looked at the Dallas score. Pittsburgh ahead 3-0. And Joe Nieuwendyke's name keeps popping up, and the way Dallas is playing, you would think they'd want to get another centerman. Medano and Gagne carrying the offensive load for the Dallas Stars. And it's pretty easy to check when you've only got one line, and basically that's all the Dallas Stars have.
Speaking of gambling, everybody that's in a pool and has Mario Lemieux, he has just scored another one. 4-0 Pittsburgh. Manson chases it back for the Winnipeg Jets. Puts on the brakes behind his own goal. 8,504 in attendance here tonight. Penalty to Ryan Smith has expired. And the Oilers take over at their own line. David Oliver tight turns in some traffic. Gets it to Doug Weight. Weight has Mironov busting to the net along with Arnott, but the pass is grabbed off and the Jets bring it back. Here comes Eastwood. He'll drop for Stapleton. Stapleton's shot, that hits David Oliver. And Oliver takes it behind his own goal. He has scored one of the Oiler goals tonight. Doug Weight has one as well. Chatant and Wright have the other ones, and Manson has the puck. Picks his way to center. Gets to the Oiler line. Gets the puck right back. Feeds it through to Eastwood. Couldn't handle the bouncing puck. Brian Marchment got back. Takes Stapleton down. Chatant in against Shannon. Chatant turns at the line. Tries to get it to Doug Weight. That is intercepted by Eastwood. And then Doug Weight gets it back for Chatant. He'll go cross ice to Arnott. Batted out of midair by Wilkinson. Doug Weight for Ken Sutton. Sutton gets to the jet line no further. Sutton turns for Doug Weight. Gets it into the jet zone. Shannon cross ice to Wilkinson. Marchment intercepts, sends it back to the Winnipeg zone. And Shannon comes cross ice to Randy Gillen. Gillen for Jamnoff. Jamnoff back to Gillen for Solani. Solani tries to get it in front. It is blocked. And Kent Sutton sends it around the boards. Chatant will leave it for Jason Bond Sr. 7-4 Winnipeg, under 7 minutes to go. Tyler Wright held up by Randy Gillen, and then Gillen gets the loose puck and sends it all the way down on Joaquin Gage. In behind the play, Malgunas and Tyler Wright exchanging unpleasantries. Sutton rims the boards, kept in by Kachuk. And then Richardson is there for Tyler Wright. Lead pass to Bonsignor. That'll be a 2-line pass from inside the Oiler line to across the center red line. 6:27 left to go in period 3.
We take our sight for granted in America. Here, for many people, it's a luxury just to be able to see the world around them.
Some doctors has come here
to see the people here, and if they need glasses, to give them glasses.
In the last 2 days, we've managed to help almost 2,000 people.
They've walked 10, 20 miles to get here.
This is one of the Gift of Sight missions that LensCrafters runs to bring sight to needy people around the world.
Like you put the glasses on and they look up, and just the look on their face, like, wow. You cannot imagine that reaction. I look in the distance, I look near, I can read.
We do not have the number of glasses we would like to have.
Don't stop giving us your used glasses.
If you drop them off at LensCrafters, we'll get them to people who need them.
These glasses equal hope. We change lives with these glasses.
Please bring your used glasses to LensCrafters by December 25th.
Schedule gets much better for the Edmonton Oilers, and some quality teams coming into the Edmonton Coliseum for the fans. Starting on the 20th, Colorado's there. Philly, the 27th, LA, the 29th, and the Rangers on the 30th. Some good teams coming into Edmonton in the Christmas season.
Bookberger has the puck at his own line. Cross-ice pass off the boards. Richardson settles it down. Kachuk steals, gets it for Olczyk. Olczyk, sharp angle shot. Had a man in front. That was Shane Doan. Doan couldn't get a stick on it. Back come the Oilers. It is Todd Marchand sending it in. Ryan Smith gets dumped on the play. Shovelday around the right side boards. Doan now takes an elbow from Ryan Smith, and the puck cleared back into the Winnipeg zone. Shovelday will leave it behind his own goal, and putting on the brakes is Finley. Finley will just park in behind the Winnipeg net. Watch the seconds tick away. Fires it around the glass, intercepted by Todd Marchand. Marchand shot, that does not get through as it hits the skates of Finley. Bookberger for Marchand. Checked by Malgunas, and Malgunas will send it back to Yuri Slager. Slager for the Oilers behind his own goal. Goes left side to Richardson. Richardson tied up by Drake. Battle for possession, comes loose to King. King in front, Gage makes the save as Turcotte found his way to the net. Pressure along the boards. Poke loose. Oliver gets the puck, sends it to center ice. Manson failed to glove it. Then he'll get possession and send it in on Gage. Doug Waits clearing pass, gobbled up by Turcotte. Turcotte plans his way to the net again, scores on his own rebound. It is 8-4.
This line with great pressure, and this isn't the Solani-Jamnov line. This is Turcotte and Chris King. Turcotte does a good job, comes out and has two whacks. There's one, and the second one, he beats Joaquin Gage. There's fishing for the puck. Nothing home, and two tries for Darren Turcotte. Joaquin Gage, not much chance, and you don't mind this game. It's one of those, you got to have a lot of bad bounces during the game, and you have disallowed goal, or you have nights like that, but you don't want any bad habits. And the Oilers defensively have just had an awful game. They've fished for the puck, poor decisions, breakaways, 2-on-1s. You don't want to get into bad habits that will carry over into the next game.
And we had talked about it early at the start of the show that they have been doing a better job of that as of late. It's 8-4 late in the third.
Happy holidays from Energizer.
Thoreau said, rather than love, than money, than fame, give me truth. Truth is, all one really needs is a kicking board that can shred a hill of powder. My. Give the gift of adrenaline. Sport Depot, 60,000 kinds of adrenaline.
We are live on CFRN. The Oilers and and the Winnipeg Jets at the Winnipeg Arena, and barring a playoff meeting between these two teams, the last meeting at the Winnipeg Arena. Our next telecast next Friday, we will be in Washington as the Oilers take on the Washington Capitals. Shannon, a shot from the left point, stopped by Gage. Battle for it in the corner. Puck pops free and it goes to Mironov. Mironov for Oliver. He can't get anywhere. Stapleton sends it back behind the Oiler goal. Centered into the slot, chipped away by Mironov. Right side pass to Arnott. Arnott across the line, lets the shot go. A knuckler. Waite hustles after the rebound. Couldn't get a stick on it. Waite bangs Wilkinson out of the play behind the net. Stapleton going after the puck. Takes a check from Oliver. Kravchuk keeps it in for Oliver. Oliver into the high slot. Tried to get a shot away. Couldn't. Backhand chop at it by Arnott on the high puck. Wilkinson had the duck. Here comes Stapleton. Stapleton sends it in front. On the deflection, McKenzie gets his second of the season. It is 9-4.
Joaquin Gage looks up at the clock, and I'm sure he thinks that the time is standing still. When's this one going to get over? Stapleton does a good job. Fake shot goes wide in. Coverage again. There's Jim McKenzie. Look at that loosey-goosey coverage on McKenzie, and that is just lack of concentration. Boris Mironov's there. He's standing right beside him. And look at Boris Mironov. He knows what he should have been doing. Take the guy's stick.
3:46 left to go. 9-4. The Jets have opened this one wide up. Here comes Bonsignor. For Chatin, back to Bonsignor. One hands it towards the front of the net. And it goes wide at the short side. Lead pass up the middle for Solani. Solani hustles after it into the Oilers zone along with Brian Marchment. They tie each other up. Solani kicks it free. And the Oilers take over. Chatin takes the pass from Tyler Wright. Chatin goes around Manson. Chatin, sharp angle. Save made. Rebound. Tyler Wright couldn't get a stick on it. And the Jets come back. Solani has 4, looking for 5. Beats for Jamnov. Sharp angle. Gate save. Chatin gives it back to Solani. Solani for Jamnov. Jamnov away from Chatin. Jams it to the net. Save made by Gage. Bonsignor to center. Drops for Chatin. Nobody home. Shannon sends it back to the Oilers zone. Richardson can't clear it out of the zone. Here comes Tkachuk. His pass is onto the stick of Todd Marchand. Up for Buchberger. For Slager. Slager will get it into the Winnipeg zone. Cheveldae for Shannon. Shannon for Tkachuk. Tkachuk will send it into the Oilers zone. Bouncing puck. Gloved by Joaquin Gage. And with 2:12 to go in the third, he will hang on for the faceoff.
We want to make it perfectly clear. You'll find guaranteed low prices at your Canadian Tire store every day. If you find a better price anywhere, we'll match it. Guaranteed.
Ron Lowe looks on, and his team had been playing so well over those 4 games, the last 4 games defensively as a team, and they've got completely away from it tonight.
Look at the faceoffs in the offensive zone.
That's another problem. When you don't win faceoffs, you don't have control of the puck, and the Oilers weighed down on that and haven't had control.
Buchberger around Manson. Centers it. Ryan Smith had a whack at the bouncing puck. Slager hustles in. Slager in for Todd Marchand. The shot hits a leg in front of the net and goes over the glass, up and out of play.
I don't think the Winnipeg Jets coaching staff is going to be too pleased with the way they've played in their own zone, too. It has been a wide-open game where nobody has really concentrated on taking the man. Let's see how many you can score, and we'll see how many we can score.
Well, Pete Peters was talking with you between the first and second period, saying the coaching staff of the Jets really preaching to the players about taking care of their own end, and they probably haven't done a real good job of that tonight.
No, they haven't. Neil Wilkinson back for the Jets, his first game back. He's helped. But this game has just been wide open and a coach's nightmare.
Deron Quint feeds for Turcotte. Turcotte, long shot. Gage makes the save, and he'll drop it for Kravchuk. Kravchuk for Maltby, can't get anywhere. Quick shot by Drake, saved by Gage. Manson sends it back to the jet line. Maltby can't handle a bouncing puck, and Kravchuk will have to hustle back into his own zone. Kravchuk goes cross ice for Kirk Maltby. Maltby will send it in. Mike Stapleton will just chop it. It is kept in by Kravchuk, and then Stapleton has it again. For Eastwood. Gets it to the Oiler line. Maltby is there. Cross ice. Just coming off the bench was Chatan, and then it's cleared in by Manderville. We are in the final minute. Manson has the puck behind his own goal. 9-4 Jets. Manson for Eastwood. Eastwood cross ice to Finley. Finley taken out of the play by Brian Marchment. Round to the boards for Tyler Wright. He'll reverse to Boris Mironov. Mironov, the pass was in behind Bonsignor, and Shannon will send it back. Brian Marchment. Cross ice for Bonsignor. The pass was behind him. Ends up on the stick of Turcotte. Turcotte with a couple tonight takes a check from Brian Marchment. Here comes Mironov. Mironov could not get the puck to Tyler Wright, and Shannon will send it back to the Oiler line. Brian Marchment. Cross ice to Tyler Wright. Tyler Wright will flip it back into the Winnipeg zone. It is chopped off the glass. It goes to Chatan, and the horn sounds here at the Winnipeg Arena, and a dejected Joaquin Gage makes his way off the ice.
And really, Joaquin Gage, at the end of the first period, made a couple of great saves. One on a breakaway, another one on a 2-on-1 to keep it close. The Oilers had that goal disallowed, then those two quick ones, two funny ones, one off the side glass, and the fragile confidence of a young team. You could see them sag after that, and when Teemu Selanne is on a roll like he was tonight, it is pretty hard to stop.
So for the first time in 5, the Oilers go down to defeat. And we'll try to get a streak going at home on Monday. In a moment, our Molson Cup 3-star selection.
The human face, difficult terrain, perfect for Braun's new 3-stage shaving system. One foil removes short hairs, an integrated cutter, longer hairs. The second foil completes the job. For Braun's closest shave yet.
Come celebrate the Olive Garden's Tuscan Feast. Mediterranean garlic shrimp, chicken and spinach manicotti, and sirloin steak grilled Tuscan style. With free soup for salad and breadsticks. The Tuscan Feast, just $13.95, only at the Olive Garden, Canada.
It's hard to surprise people during the holidays. So shop at Staples. Give them something different, like a compact Presario computer, an AT&T Trimline telephone, or a Sharp 32K organizer. Staples. Great gifts for all, for less.
3 stars tonight. It's no surprise that they're all from the Winnipeg Jets. Number 3, Alexei Zhamnov with 3 assists. Deron Quint had those 2 quick goals that really